All right, everybody. Welcome to today's show, episode number 25. 25 of the Sit Down Marks podcast. Welcome, everybody. Let me turn myself off in my ear. Hey,
Thank you.
old school.
Hey.
Old school.
Vintage Dirty Bird.
That's right. If you listen to the first 15 episodes before I figured out how to do audio things, you'll probably get a good laugh at that. But welcome to the show here. Like I said, episode 25. What do you say, boys? It's been 25 episodes already. We're almost halfway through our first year here.
I don't count the first 4, then number 6 because I wasn't on those.
Yep. I remember when you were just a young dirty, and you just grew up so fast in front of me.
I know. Now I'm interviewing wrestlers and doing big things with my life. It's
wheeling and dealing and
jet flying, limousine riding.
There it is.
All right, let me first of all thank our sponsors here today. The show today is sponsored by Coastland Apparel. Use promo code BIRDTV for 15% off your order. I am sporting the hat. AJ's got the hat on. Primo's got the hat on. We are all hatted up today in Coastland Apparel, so go check them out. Use that promo code. We appreciate them supporting the show here. So let me introduce my panel here today. Obviously, I am your heel host, the Dirty Bird, the only real heel left on the panel here. Some guys are trying to push me out, but I'm still the OG heel. But let me first introduce to you my 2 favorite marks on the show. One of them is the co-host from the land of the rattlesnake, Mr. Team Extreme. And if you've heard this man talk, you know that you better acknowledge him. Here he is, the editor and producer, Primo.
Thank you. Hello, 25 episodes.
Welcome.
I mean, yeah, thank you. Of course, acknowledging me already. AJ, your turn.
Hello, Champion Primo. How are you this evening?
Good. It's my 142nd day as champion, and it's good one. And who other than to have on our 25th episode than returning guest?
That's right. Hey. We'll get to him here in just a second. But first of all, you know this guy because he's straight out of your mama's kitchen. He's been known to drop a few biscuits in some bread baskets from old back in the day, a little 1-2 on the side. You know him as the assistant editor and producer. What's up, AJ?
Oh, hi, Marks. What's going on? I'm very excited.
Coastland cap.
One, I don't know why I didn't put this on underneath my headphones, but this is where we are now, so it's going.
I mean, it looks perfectly normal.
We all
it looks good. It's a good look on you.
I don't need you guys to patronize me. Thank you very much. That's it.
That's why you're here. We don't have you here for wrestling.
You guys to patronize me.
Patronizing only.
I appreciate it.
That's right.
AJ, that's a nice hat. It is a nice hat, but it's just not on my head. Anyways,
like I said, 25th show here today, so we had to bring back the reigning defending champion of the one and only Punjabi prison match between 2 brothers ever held in the history of the world. He is still the champ. Michael! Welcome back, brother.
Finally, the undead one has returned.
Moggle.
Welcome to have you back, brother. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it, man.
All night. I'm going to be doing that all night. So you really set yourself up for this. So I
you text me that when
I do.
Like it's like 3 a.m. anyway. So
Moggle.
This way's a little bit different. It's fun.
Moggle. That's going to be the whole show today. Just us randomly going, Moggle.
All right, should be a fun show here today. We got Mike alone. We're going to talk about a lot of things. But first of all, let's do this thing right. Beef, bring us in, brother.
It's the Beefster here, and I'm telling you, you better turn into the Sit Down Marks podcast with AJ, Dirty Bird, and Primo. And if you don't, Beef's going to have to hit you with that beefy bomb. Tune in, folks. They won't disappoint you.
Yeah, my boy, Big Beefster.
Beefy bomb.
Can't wait to hang out with him at the end of September, man. Me and AJ we're gonna merch him up with some Sit Down Marks shirts here down in St. Louis Anarchy. It's gonna be a fun time, man. Can't wait.
Oh, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be good to see Beef again. See some live wrestling in the snob seats, which I can't sit anywhere else now except for in the snob seats.
I've ruined you forever.
Yes,
Ruined you
I'm
forever.
a snob now.
I know. Hey,
No more
front row
peon
Indy
seats
is
for
where
me.
it's at, man. Front
Oh,
row
it's the
Indy,
best.
or on the stage at AEW is where
Hey,
it's
next
at. As well.
next time you guys see Beaver, can you get him to divulge the secret of the crazy eyes? Because I really want to learn this. Because
I can't do it.
he's got the best crazy eyes. They're crazy.
Yeah.
See, when I do it, I just look weird and not at all intimidating.
Like I look like I need eye drops when I do it.
Yeah, my eyes won't even open up like that anymore, man. I'm an old hippie. I smoke too much weed. They won't open
You
up
have
like that
old
anymore.
eyes.
I want to thank everybody for listening right now or watching right now on Twitch and listening at iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, TuneIn Radio, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, and SportsWire online radio every Friday at 6:45 Eastern Time and other times throughout the week. So let's get this show underway, Primo. What do you say, brother? Today in wrestling and birthdays. I'm excited for birthdays today.
Oh, are you?
I am.
I'll bet you are.
There's a wrestler
You
on
better
there
deliver.
that I know you enjoy.
You're
All right, boys, let me talk to you. The champion's now speaking. This day in wrestling history, September 1st, that's today for all you marks out there that weren't paying attention. 1979, the Intercontinental Championship is born as Pat Patterson wins the WWF tournament in Rio de Janeiro to become the first ever champion.
Pat Patterson. He's still with the company, right? I know he had some unpleasantness for a little while there, but is he dead? Is he? Oh, so no, he doesn't.
It was a hard way to retirement, AJ. It was a really hard path to get there.
AJ's had a long month. He doesn't sleep properly at times.
It's
So
only the first.
Got too many hats on his head. That's why.
I only have one.
Squeezing his brain. That's what's happening there.
You know what?
Wheezing the juice.
Wheeze the juice.
Wheezing the juice. All right, 1990.
Encino Man is released.
Yeah.
Pauly Shore's career takes a nosedive.
Probably pretty close.
I do
Brandon
love me some
Fraser
Pauly
becomes a
Shore.
star.
Yeah. 1990. During their this is a good one. During their Saturday morning wrestling broadcast on WMC TV in Memphis, Eddie Gilbert hits Jerry Lawler with Doug Gilbert's.
Hot stuff, Eddie Gilbert. Sorry.
Excuse me.
I got excited. My bad.
You did.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I'm just kidding. Eddie Gilbert hits Jerry Lawler with Doug Gilbert's car in the parking lot outside the studio. Now, this was actually pre-planned, as is in wrestling, but the collision caused Lawler to suffer a bruised hip after he rolled over the hood of the car, and apparently the angle was so real on television, it caused viewers to actually call the cops to the studio.
Marks.
Man, kayfabe was alive and well back then.
Oh,
wasn't it?
yeah, man.
Holy cow. Holy shit, man.
That's
awesome.
cool. Yeah.
I love a good parking lot run over in wrestling.
Right.
Was that pre Jim Duggan and Sheiky Baby getting arrested? Because that's what kind of broke.
It was afterwards because this is
after?
1990 and that was like 89 or 87,
Okay.
something like
Yeah.
that. Moving forward, 2007, Adam Pearce defeats Brent Albright to win the vacated NWA World Heavyweight Championship, the 10 pounds of gold. Pearce was the first post-TNA NWA champion.
Interesting.
Nice.
His spot was originally supposed to go to Bryan Danielson, but Danielson suffered a broken orbital bone a week prior during his ROH World Championship match against Takeshi Morishima.
God damn it, Daniel Bryanson.
So he could have been that first NWA championship post TNA, the revitalized NWA. That would have been neat. But that was Adam Pearce, who is now your Raw general manager.
Nice.
Doing a good job.
Yeah.
Michael.
Wrestling birthdays on September 1, still today. Let's go with the first one. 1987. Sammy Callahan.
There it is.
Death Motion!
I knew it had to be someone like that.
You know,
My man!
You know I wouldn't let you down, Dirty.
That's right. I know it.
19...
Heels in wrestling. Happy birthday, brother.
1971, Sim Snuka, otherwise known as Deuce.
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 Yeah, Jimmy Snuka's son.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Deuce and Domino. My
It
bad.
is him. That is him.
Yeah,
It
Deuce,
is,
yeah.
right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Gosh, I hadn't even thought about
I
that.
also read somewhere, y'all could fact check it later, but I think I read that he was also later on, like, as he was the cameraman that was standing there when Undertaker went over the ropes and dove to his head.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. For a second there, I thought you were going to say he was also accused of like murdering someone, like his father was. If you don't remember that,
I like Deuce and Domino. That was a good gimmick.
it was.
And Cherry, is that what her
Old,
name?
yeah, like an old
Mhm.
diner, like
Yeah,
Happy
yeah.
Days.
Yeah.
1962, Tracy Smothers.
The Confederate Tracy Smothers. Man, he's a
It's
Southern
an old one.
legend.
Yeah,
That
it's an old
rings
one.
0 bells.
It's an old one. I knew at least one of you, the old
Yeah.
head, would know.
Yeah.
And everybody will know this one. 1961, the final birthday of today, Bam Bam Bigelow.
The beast.
Bammers.
Nice.
Jersey or whatever.
How versatile was that guy for a big man?
He was
Oh
the
my
most
God.
underrated wrestler back then. Remember when he would do like action roles and stuff like that?
He's one of the best big men for sure.
him and LT headlined
Yep.
WrestleMania 10,
WrestleMania together. Yeah.
11.
I don't know how you can make Bammers heal, though, considering his body is covered in burn scars from saving people from a fire.
Not people, children. He said
Children.
children.
You're right.
from
My
fire.
mistake.
Yeah.
Children are not people, Marks. Keep that in mind.
Dude is covered in. And he's also that whole outfit's covered in flames all the way to his skull.
His skull.
Yeah.
No, that's where the skull or the flame tattoo on his skull came from. Was that incident, according to interwebs?
I would also like to give a late happy birthday, as of yesterday, to Mickey James and one Jeff Hardy.
Country.
Jeff.
We
Hardy.
shall send her a trash bag full of birthday cards.
and put her
Oh,
name
yeah.
just on it. Mickey James.
And that is this day in wrestling history and today's birthday, September 1st.
By the way, Encino Man was released in 1992.
Oh, so close.
It seems like much longer ago.
Weekend at Bernie's 2 was released in 1993.
What was
'Cause
the
that-
movie?
What about Son-in-Law or Biodome?
Biodome?
94 and 95.
Yeah, Biodome.
I like
Those
that
all,
you-
by the way, all those popped up when I Googled
In the
Encino
Army Now?
Man. Let's not talk. Wait, wasn't that one?
I'm old enough to remember. Obviously, you guys know this. Pauly Shore on MTV as a
I
VJ.
vaguely,
Oh,
I vaguely
God.
remember him. That's where the whole
Yeah.
weasel thing came from, and I hated him.
I mean, I'm a fan.
Not a fan of
I am.
Mr. Shore.
I am.
How do you make a career? I get that it was nepotism because his mom owned the Laugh Factory and lost it, but that's your gimmick. How is that funny? Like how? No,
Buddy.
A lot of money.
It was a different time back then. Back
Sure.
in those early 90s where loud clothing was the norm and Pauly Shore was popular.
yeah.
I was easily amused.
And Jerry
I
Lawler
wasn't
getting
even
hit by
easily amused
cars.
back
That's
then.
true. And Jerry Lawler getting hit by cars. I wish my wrestling fandom was still at that level of believability.
Oh, yeah.
that
Yeah.
would be cool.
Uh,
Be even bigger nerds than we already are.
But moving on.
right. I know. I can't wait to watch like my son watching wrestling and like believe.
Just be like,
it, like
did you?
Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
What are you going to start him out on?
Oh, he's already.
He's already on it. Yeah, he's already on. Yeah, it's small increments. It's it's 10 minutes, here and there. He to him right now, he likes anybody that comes out with bright colors on the Titantron. You know what I mean? Like Naomi or
Yeah.
Cena. Like
He's a New Day fan then?
we watched Cena Roman, like Cena's green, like he was all up in the screen, like I was
Nice.
looking him away, like look, he's watching Cena. It's great.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like Cena, but I understand why. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Oh, for sure. That's why they do that. And same
Oh,
with
yeah.
Nikki ASH. On the complete opposite side, my daughter, who is 6, it was a couple pay-per-views ago when they had that all-women's match where Alexa Bliss was standing up on the ropes
Mhm.
with their hands behind her back, being all creepy.
Yeah.
All the women were coming in, and my 6-year-old goes, "I like her, Daddy. She looks cool."
She did. I agree with your daughter.
You're like, no, you can't like
She like the
her.
creepiest one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that's you like the one that is the most disturbing.
Yeah, my daughter does not watch wrestling, but occasionally she'll walk through the room, and the only time she did see anything like that, she goes, "Wow, that doll is really creepy, Daddy." And I was like, "Yeah, pretty wild looking eyes on that thing, huh?" She's like, "Yeah, I don't know why anybody would want that in their house."
You're right. No one would.
Smart,
No
smart
one would.
girl.
It's like that's why it's in a wrestling ring, so it can
Yep.
be handled. So, all right. Let's get to it here. Today we got a lot of recap from the last week. We're going to talk about everything that has happened. We're going to talk about NWA, Empower, NWA 73. We also got promo school here today. I got a nice little WrestleMania 6 face promo actually from Jake the Snake Roberts. So it's not one of his more favorite, but it's kind of one of those when I listen and I'm like, thinking. He never, what we always think about Jake, he never probably ever rehearsed anything. They stick a mic in front of his face, and just the intricacy and just like pure definement of how to cut a promo. This is kind of one of those, man. It's just things just roll off his tongue. Like he made me want to go watch that match over, and I can't remember who won. Like
what match was it? The one with the model Rick Martel? Is that the
DiBiase?
Was it during that feud?
DiBiase.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. So that was gonna be fun. We're gonna play squared circle questions. Want to remind you real quick, all our episodes past are available on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, SportsWire on Fridays at 6:45 Eastern Time. Primo, tell us, where can you get the Marks merch, man? Where can we get those hats, those T-shirts, those coffee mugs?
Well, I will tell you, the internet. Just kidding. No. tpublic.com/users/sit-down-marks.
All right, there it is.
The
right
interwebs.
We also got those stickers still available. If anybody out there in listener land can message us, and we'll send you out some free stickers on Twitter. Sit Down Marks. That's SITDOWNMARKS. All right, let's get this show officially underway here. AJ, what do you say, my brother? Let's talk about AEW Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Wednesday. Dynamite.
This was a packed show. A lot of it was nonsense, but it was still awesome. So, kickoff is Orange Cassidy versus Big Money Matt Hardy. This match didn't mean a whole bunch, but at the same time, it was super entertaining because Matt Hardy super over, Orange Cassidy super over.
All right, time out real quick. Let me say this real quick. Do you ever see somebody give you the real thumbs up, like kind of like out in public or something? And like every time I see, I always want to do like orange back to them.
Yeah, just
They'd be like, "What is that?"
yeah,
like a cop, pulling you through traffic with his hand, and he's like, gives you thumb up. You kind of like, you want to give him the orange,
Just gotta give him straight face.
give him the lazy orange,
Yeah.
the lazy orange thumbs up.
You get out of your car and just roll.
because wrestling is life. Wrestling.
So I have a Jeep
wrestling.
Wrangler. That's like what I drive, and I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the Jeep wave where you're driving it.
Yeah, we know you Jeep morons like to brag about having a Jeep.
I mean, it's a Jeep thing. You wouldn't understand. But now
I just died a little.
Yep, I did too. But now I'm going to start giving the Orange Cassidy
Up here?
thumbs
Yeah.
up instead. Yeah, it's going to be awkward.
Chest.
So, is Orange Cassidy's gimmick he just doesn't care? Is that?
Yes. That's a lazy wrestler.
He's-
Because he's from wherever and he weighs.
Whatever.
Whatever.
He's-
yeah.
But like he's in a professional sporting contest and he doesn't care.
Yeah. He wins with his hands in his
makes
pocket.
no sense.
I think, yeah. And
Wrestling, so it makes all sense.
This
No
dude-
man, no man.
It's over.
this dude suicide dives through the ropes with his hands in the
Hands in his
pockets.
pocket.
Right.
That's just dumb. You're gonna dome yourself.
and he does.
It is.
Well,
But
he
the
got
gimmick is so.
on the Indies, and he did the little shin kick thing, and the next time I went to a show that he was on, say maybe a month or two later, when he goes to do the shin kick, everybody's
Yeah,
So
it's
okay,
still
It's so over they
Don't get me
got
wrong.
Sting to do it.
Don't get me wrong, I get that it's over, but when like he's doing like the shin kick stuff to like Pac, and Pac is playing along. What is happening with that? Is he a heel or not?
Played along.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was embarrassing. Actually, I found quite embarrassing. It was like, come on, man.
My favorite is when he steps back.
Cop and now Orange
up.
Cassidy. Like,
Yeah, I love it. He steps back and does the sidekick.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway,
I'm on board with Orange Cassidy. He got the win, by the way, in this match with his hands in his pockets, which is awesome. He also hit a swanton bomb, which I thought was kind of.
He also threw up the sign. Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
with his hands in his pockets.
No, he took his hands out of his pockets.
Oh, see, now he's trying. Now his gimmick's ruined.
Yeah, he started doing the Hardy.
Yeah.
He shattered Matt's nose.
Matt's face was bloody.
Yeah, it was a bit mushed. Like it was just mush.
Like AEW blood every night, man. Like I don't know, and it's either by accident or intentional. Like
Yeah,
I think it's by accident. A lot of these guys seem so like super indie-rific and not safe at all. Like,
well, I mean, a lot of them are super safe, but this, I mean. Yeah, this was just one of those things. This is like a Seth Rollins knee to John Cena's face.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Situation.
You can't see knee. Remember when he said
that?
Yeah, you can't see knee.
I just think it's really funny that a guy whose gimmick is he doesn't give a crap and doesn't try destroyed Matt Hardy's face because he wasn't trying to protect him.
Hey, yeah.
Is he living the gimmick here now, or what's happening?
Well, it's kind of like he doesn't care until the wrestling starts, and then there's bits of laziness in it, but he's still like wrestling and diving, like he's diving. He's just diving with his hands in his pocket.
It's almost like two wrestlers that have to wrestle each other, and they have like super respect for each other, so they start out locking up. But then about halfway through the match, like, all right, screw it, we're fighting.
Like Charlotte and Nia.
Yeah.
Oh,
I said wrestlers that have respect for each other.
Yes,
good point.
Respect for anything.
Okay, I'll say this: that I'll move on from his gimmick because there's so many worse gimmicks later in the show you're going to touch on that I really want to dump on. So,
yes, there are. So. Wow, what a lot of discussion for an inconsequential match that meant nothing, but was fun crowd popper. Up next, Jericho, the demo god, gives a promo. Le Champion. He gives a promo about how he wants one more shot at MJF, aka Michael Jacob Freeman,
the Ayatollah rock and roller,
and
Michael Jacob Freeberg.
Michael Jacob Freeberg. And
Freeberg,
free biscuit, and so this time the gimmick is that if he loses, his career is done. He'll give it up. So I can see this going two ways. Like he finally gets his win over MJF with doesn't need. But also like in my head, I'm like, well, what if he's doing a Cody Rhodes and this is his way to like. He's an old established star. This is his way of kind of stepping to the side and letting the young guys do some things. I don't know. I'm looking forward to the match.
Say if he never wrestles again, he better cancel that cruise.
I would still go on that cruise. I'm lying. I would never get on a boat.
I like cruises.
How many matches is this for Jericho and MJF over the past year now? This is
so
like the third one, right? Or this will be the fourth one.
This will be the fourth, yeah, because it's 3-0 MJF.
Yeah, Jericho is 0-3 against MJF.
Why would MJF give him another match at that point?
Because of the prospect of ending his career.
Yeah, the implications.
Being his last match. Last match, yeah.
Okay.
So after that, on Twitter, he was saying, I'm going to be Jericho's last match and that kind of stuff. So
I'm just going to ask you guys questions that make no sense to me, by the way. That's the show. Buckle up for Raw.
So yeah,
That's so many questions.
I don't like it, but I like it at the same time. I look forward to the match. Up next, holy hell, Lucha Brothers versus Varsity Blondes. I want to start this by saying I hate Griff Grifferson or whatever the hell his stupid name is. I cannot stand
That's
him.
his name now.
Whatever it was before.
He's trying to get heat in Chicago.
Yeah, that's a little dig at Chicago.
MJF's a great heel. He is. Yeah. He's a great heel.
I think he's the best heel working today, minus Roman Reigns. But yeah, Griff Grifferson, I can't stand him. I can't stand his look. I can't stand the way he wrestles. I can't stand any. He's got Billy Gunn, I hate you levels of heat with me.
Why
So-
so quick? We don't hardly know anything about this kid yet.
I don't care.
JJ.
It was a snap
He
judgment.
just
And I'm standing by it.
like as soon as he walks in, like nope,
Nope,
screw that guy.
I hate this guy. Why does he have a poodle mullet? Why is his name Griff Grifferson? I hate him. Get out of here.
All right, just checking.
He's gonna have to do a lot to win me over.
Let's
I
move
think that's
on
totally
before we boil
legitimate.
over about Griff.
They have a kid that wrestles on their show called Jungle Boy.
Yeah, who's awesome.
Oh.
I mean, yeah, I'm down with Jungle Boy. I'm just saying the names they could be worse.
Well, I mean, his name isn't even Griff Grifferson. I hate him so much I couldn't even be bothered to learn his last name.
Luchasaurus.
Don't even get me started on the wrestling dinosaur. If you want questions? I got questions about a wrestling dinosaur for you.
My favorite was last week when AJ was talking about the light distraction.
It's so awesome.
That was pretty good.
Okay, so this match, you guys know that I hate the Cero Miedo chants. However, the Lucha Brothers are so awesome. I don't care anymore.
Yeah,
Do not
Phoenix,
care.
Phoenix is great TV, man.
He is my favorite in-ring performer right now in AEW. He is
Ooh.
so good. He's so good, so smooth, so fluid. Like everything about him is awesome. And Penta he's good too. I can overlook that. Like I wasn't even doing the Cero Miedo chants count.
You weren't counting
this
them?
time. I wasn't. I didn't count them this time. Normally I do.
Yeah, both those guys.
But yeah, the Lucha Brothers win this over Brian Pillman Jr. He's the one who takes a pin, and I think they might be setting up for a little Griff Grifferson, Brian Pillman Jr. feud going forward.
No, we can't break up the blondes yet, man.
I mean,
Come on, we haven't even popped.
Brian Pillman
Up
Jr.
yet.
is so beyond Griff Grifferson that they need to. The sooner they end it, the better.
Unless they got y'all know I like Pillman Jr. He's one of my faces that I like right now. I
Mhm.
called him and Jungle Boy a while back as being champs.
You did.
So, but Pillman, I love as a face. You're right. This might be a little break off for a little push here, man. But
I
I
hope
love
so.
watching him, man. I feel like I'm watching his dad when I watch him wrestle because they're built like it. He's wearing the mullet, and
Mhm.
he's doing some of his moves. And I was a Pillman fan, so like it's kind of a little bit of a throwback for me. So
He's obviously not as good on the mic yet, but I think he could
yeah.
be.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
on board with Brian.
He's a
Pillman.
little bit of we'll meet in the ring and I'm gonna kick your ass.
I'll get that 1,
Yeah.
2, 2.5 because I always lose.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, he's got to break off that. Like we're the best around here. But
No.
yeah, he'll get it.
Yeah, he will. I think so. So anyways, Griff Grifferson sucks. Up next, well, not up next, but
Moral of the story.
we have the highlight of the show, another Punk promo.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
So good. Like, I remember I texted you guys directly after this, and I was like, holy fuck, CM Punk is so awesome.
Best
So-
in the world.
So the whole premise of this is that, he talks about his match with Darby coming up, and he said, like, the whole reason he came back is that he wants to prove, not to everyone else, but to himself, that he's still, if he can still call himself the best in the world, and that's what he's out to do, and he wants to do it against guys like Darby Allin, Jungle Boy. He mentions Brian Pillman Jr. as well.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Phoenix, he talks about it as well. It's just awesome. So the crowd starts doing this. This is almost broke the wrestling internet.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
the crowd started doing yes chants, and Punk goes, "That's someone else's shtick. You might have to be a bit more patient." AKA Bryan Danielson is going to AEW
Yes.
in the very near future.
Did you like CM Punk's face when he did it? That.
Yeah, he's
Right.
like,
He's like, oh.
He's perfect.
knew
He's
exactly
so
what he
good.
did.
He's
Oh, I
so
loved
good.
it. Loved
Yeah,
it
that
so
was awesome.
so much.
Yep. I love too how he looked at his watch and like he went to
He
go
said,
say it's
not
to
time
go-
yet.
He goes,
Yeah.
"Ah," and puts his fingers like, not time yet, not time
Yep,
yet. I'm
yep.
like, oh,
It's-
God, man.
He's the best. Like he could. I mean, I get that we're all just still like in the glow of CM Punk returning, but him being back, twice already, forget how good he actually was, and where everyone is slowly being reminded. Like once the like shine of him just returning wears off, we're still going to be left with CM Punk, who is one of the best in the world.
Arguably one of the best in the world, yeah.
So it's amazing. It's going to be amazing going forward. I don't think he wants a belt anytime soon. I think he's just going to wrestle young guys, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. He's going to get them legs back on him. Then when he's feeling good, they're going to put the title on him.
I think so eventually too.
Yeah, eventually. Yeah, he don't
not
need
against
it now.
Omega though. I'll get to that later.
Okay.
Get to that Lega.
I'll get
to Omega Lega.
Get Omega Lega. Lega. Omega Lega.
Mago says Omega Lega.
My God, Mago.
Assalamu Michael.
Speaking of Lega and Omega and Mogul, Mogul Kai Black. I tried to put those in together and it didn't.
Mogul Kai.
Mogul Kai Black. So he's taking. This is the main event. He's taking on Brock Anderson, and he just destroys him. And he only pins him when he's like done. Like when he gets bored, basically, he's like, "All right, I'll pin you now." And then he destroys Arn Anderson. Kayfabe destroys, but
Arn Anderson did block the first one.
he did. Yes, he did.
He did.
That's right.
He still got some moves.
Yes. So they're putting over Malachi Black so strong, and he is who I think is going to take the belt off of Omega eventually. I think they're pushing Malachi Black to take the belt from Omega, which I just want to see Omega versus Malachi Black. I'm okay with that. So that was the main event. Those are the main points. Rest of the rest, however, Red Velvet versus Jamie Hayter, whatever. Jamie Hayter gets the win, but Chris Statlander comes out to kind of hype their match coming up for All Out. There's dissension in the Dark Order. I like this angle. Alex Reynolds says that Evil Uno isn't a leader just because he has the word one in his name. That was pretty good. So then it ends up John Silver and Reynolds walk out. I like that Evil Uno have their own kind of story now that has nothing to do with Hangman Page.
Right.
Miro and Kingston, sign me up for this feud.
Yeah.
Cannot wait.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
So it's kind of Miro was talking about Kingston a little bit, calls him the Mad King. Awesome.
Right, yeah.
So then there was
God's
Kingston,
favorite champion.
God's favorite champion with a really hot wife who's flexible. And then there was
The Redeemer.
The Redeemer.
I love his nicknames. This is great.
And
Man.
he comes up with them all on his own too. Like
God's favorite champion and the Redeemer. Those are great, man.
Miro is amazing.
He's
Still the belt up to
incredibly
God.
good,
Yeah.
His flexible wife.
His flexible wife, yes. So then Kingston, Moxley, and Allen versus the Wingmen. This was a nothing match. It was fun, as most of these matches are. The Wingmen are super entertaining, but they're a comedy mid-card act. And I think the only reason they put them against these three was so they're trying to get over, I think, the story that Moxley's going a bit crazy a little bit.
Going?
Is this
like heel crazy, like he's losing his mind.
But like John Moxley is crazy. But
he's face
gimmick.
Crazy. He's face crazy right now. I think he's gonna go heel crazy.
So you're saying he's got like heel face bipolar disorder? Like he's got to like he flips back and forth without his medicine.
Yeah, when he's face, he's just unhinged.
Yes.
right?
Oh, okay.
Is this when JD Drake had the suspenders on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
That's just fun. Like they're entertaining. I like the Wingmen.
right? Yeah. Okay, so I don't know if anybody's gonna get here, but get this reference. Maybe somebody out there in podcast listener land will. All right, so if you watched NWA in the early days before the Big Boss Man in WWF WE, his gimmick in NWA was Big Bubba. He was Jim Cornette's bodyguard. Okay. Is how they brought him into wrestling there, okay? That exact outfit that he has on that he's wrestling is the one JD Drake is wearing.
That is fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I can't get that out of my head. I cannot get past I can't. I just keep thinking Big Bubba, like he puts the jacket and the hat on. Yeah, so hopefully If anybody out there gets that, tweet us, man, because I would love
Yes,
to know.
I would like to know who gets that.
Somebody old
I didn't
enough.
get that at all.
Yeah. Back in the old days, this was the '80s when he ended up being the big boss man later on, and what was the Repo Man as well. But
I love the Repo Man.
yeah. So
So
I got into wrestling.
So a couple more things really quick. I'm saving the best for last, but really quick, Dan Lambert's back on, my boy Dan Lambert. But they put him with Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Why would you put Dan Lambert with Ethan Page, who's already one of the best talkers
Right.
on the show? Why would you put Dan Lambert with him? Didn't understand it.
Heels hang out with heels.
Yeah, but like I get Scorpio Sky because I want him to shut up most of the time anyways. And I want to hear Dan Lambert talk, but I also want to hear Ethan Page talk because he's great.
Are you taking my shtick of asking questions that you know have bad answers?
So
my gimmick.
So one more that I saved for last intentionally.
Okay.
You guys know which match?
Nice skinny shirt, by the way. I like that.
Hell yeah! Look at that shit.
Classic.
So do you guys know which match I saved for last? Hold on. It is the Gun Factory. That's right.
God.
I'm mixing up their names.
All right.
With the regular Factory. It's the Gun Shop against the Factory. Oh my god, my rage was...
Is it not Gun Club?
It's the Gun Club, yeah.
It's Gun Club, yeah.
Yeah.
You're not acknowledging them. You see.
Oh my god.
This is why I purposely sent him a screenshot while I watched it.
Yes, you did. I got so angry.
Yeah, if you're new to the show, Billy Gunn is AJ's probably most hated wrestler ever, I think.
He is number one. I despise Billy Gunn. Cute Kip James, Rockabilly, whatever other stupid goddamn gimmick he's had throughout his career. I hate them all. I wouldn't say equally, but...
Which iteration is the worst of Billy Gunn?
Oh, see, that's for...
I'm an ass man.
I'd say TNA Billy Gunn is the worst
when he was
version
in
of Billy Gunn.
Voodoo Kid Mafia? Is that what they were?
Yeah.
Voodoo Kid Mafia?
Yeah.
He was a face misogynist. How does that make any sense except being underneath Vince Russo? How does that make sense anywhere? He's a piece of shit and he's a face.
Oh, yeah. Ha! Ladies, get back in the kitchen. Crotch chop, I'm 50. Like,
oh my god. Anyone who's over the age of 19 telling people to suck it needs to not. You're the old man at the party. You look sad. Stop it.
See?
I will.
Mogul gets it.
That's right, Primo.
He was like, I'm sorry. I'll get off your lawn.
Dang
now.
it.
Unpops his collar.
Yeah.
So you want to turns off his Dan
turn the punch
Fogelberg
bowl.
music, and you want to know what made this match even worse? Is that Big Show is gonna wrestle?
Oh my god.
I hated this so much. QT Marshall and Big Show, sure.
QT Marshall.
I'm sorry, it's Paul White, not Big Show. Like Big Show is a copyrighted entity.
Yeah, one job, AJ.
To talk about how much I hate Billy Gunn.
That's that's your one job.
That could be a good job.
I feel like I'm performing admirably with that one job.
You are.
I'm going to need a top 5 worst Billy Gunn moments from you now.
Who did they wrestle, AJ?
They wrestled the Factory, which is QT Marshall and the other two guys that I can't think of. Not
The
Anthony
hairy
Ogogo.
one.
Yes. Anthony Ogogo is still out, by the way. Like, I need some more breadbasket punches in my life. More muffin baskets. And he's just been out this entire time. So
Muffin
makes me kinda
baskets.
sad. Muffin yes, it's now muffin baskets. So that's AEW Dynamite.
Here all night, folks.
I talk for a living. Like, that is my job.
I talk good.
Oh, I need a nap and some pastries.
He sounds like the Swedish chef.
I better stop talking crap because I'm coming up soon. And I'm going to be worse.
Yeah. See,
I've got questions for you too, Primo. So many questions for you, Primo.
All right, I'm done. I'm done with Dynamite. Great. It was a good show with some crappy filler.
On to Impact in the Indies.
All right. Let's talk about the indies then here. Let's get started here. Let me just run down some shows that are coming up this weekend if you're in
Run
that
them down.
area. or
Run them down.
around somewhere around there. You can check them out. Let's start off with our local promotion here, close to us, up in Chicago, Illinois. Destination Chicago is Thursday night at the Logan Square Auditorium, so check that out if you're in the Charlotte area. For all those for AEW this weekend, there's tons of shows going on down there. Also, let's see, Wartime, September 24th. Just announced Daniel Makabe versus Jeremy Wyatt. Big Beef is going to be on the card. Davey Richards is going to be on the card. He is having a rematch with Everett Connors, I believe. Gary J is on the card. It's going to be awesome. Me and AJ is going to be down there front row with Adam Warwick from the show. So that one's coming up. Also, Absolute Intense Wrestling, AIW, out of Cleveland, Ohio. They are cranking back up. Their next show is September the 10th. Also, we just found out a few days ago, Iron Spirit Pro, the show they had on October the 6th, they have moved because of COVID possible happening later on, the Delta variant. Yep. They have moved to December the 3rd. So that is now the show from October has moved to December the 3rd, which might work out better for us. Maybe we can have everybody in-house from the podcast if Primo is able to make it down. So that would be
Primo.
Really cool.
That was supposed to be a threatening fist, by the way.
Yeah,
was that a Homer Simpson?
You get down here and get on my lawn.
You shaking your fist at me?
I don't have any clouds outside to shake my fist at. So.
October the 2nd, PWX down in Charlotte, talked about Concord, North Carolina. Main event is Minoru Suzuki versus Anthony Henry. Well, I'm telling you this because they just added our boy Sir Murderhawk to the lineup.
Sir Arthur, eh?
Yeah, Sir Arthur Murderhawk is going to be on there. Very next day, Glory Pro Wrestling out of St. Louis, Missouri, October the 3rd, which is the next day, is a super stacked card. I ran out of places to write, but on the card is Stallion Rogers, a.k.a. Kurt Stallion. Yeah. Danhausen, Minoru Suzuki is on it. It's called Little Shop of Horrors or something like it. There's some sort of play off of Little Shop of Horrors is the name of the card. But anyway, that's what's coming up. Okay, so this weekend, Sunday and Monday, there's shows in Chicago. Black Label Pro in association with Game Changer Wrestling, GCW, whichever you want to call it. They are putting on a couple shows right around the Chicago area. Filthy Tom Lawler is going to be on the Black Label Pro show. Our boy Big Beef is going to be on the Black Label Pro show. The Game Changer Wrestling show is called 3 Cups Stuffed.
What? Explain
3 Cups Stuffed. I don't know how to.
I'd rather we didn't explain that.
Oddly enough, I don't have a question for this one.
Yeah, it's a play off of. Yeah, but anyway, GCW.
Wait, what's it a play off of?
Of 2 girls, 1 cup. Is that
What's
what it
that?
was?
Yeah.
Google that, Mark.
Yeah.
Google it.
Please do not Google that.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, don't. This show is an adult show now, by the way. So,
Blue waffles.
yeah. So it's
It's
play off of that, and so that is the kind of lineup of what's going on here. So big weekend in wrestling in Chicago. So all right, let's get to Impact Wrestling. The Wednesday or the Thursday after AJ's AEW Dynamite. This is for Thursday, August 26th. Just a few notes I have here. Not a whole lot happened in this show, but just to let you know, their next pay-per-view is going to be Victory Road, September the 18th. And then after that, October the 23rd is Bound for Glory. So I think Victory Road might be on their Impact Plus. And then Bound for Glory, I think, will be kind of like their bigger pay-per-view. It's one of their bigger ones of the year. So
that's like their Mania, isn't it? The Bound for Glory ones, or is Victory Road like their Starcade / Mania?
No, I think they just had kind of like, I can't remember which one it was. Not Slammiversary. That's
Slammiversary
like
is
Emergence. What was it? The King and Queen one.
Resurgence and then Emergence, something like that. But yeah. But anyway, all right. So kick off the show. Chris Sabin versus the birthday boy, Death Machine, Sammy Callahan. It was funny, man. I was laughing because the crowd loves Sammy here. Sammy was getting over as the face. Back and forth match. Sabin ends up winning after kicking out of a pile driver from Sammy. But then Moose shows up, throws Sabin out of the ring. So they're still going at each other. But instead of going after Sabin, he turns around and spears Sammy. And then Moose gets, I can't remember if he had a chair and he ended up with a pipe. So I don't know if he like broke it off the chair. I can't remember. Anyway, ended up with a pipe, a foreign
Object?
object, if you will.
Maybe
you will.
maybe he like picked up the chair and he's like, like checked its heft, and then he was like, and then he found a pipe and he was like, yeah.
Oh, right, yeah. So anyway, so in a strange series of events, no stranger than Encino Man getting mentioned in this podcast.
Got
But
mentioned or got nominated for 0 Oscars, by the way. Stupid Academy.
man, it's robbery. Anyway, so Moose
My
gets
brother
up
is going to be
right.
so proud of me for mentioning that, by the way.
Yeah.
Moose has the pipe and he's going after Sammy with it. And in a turn of events, Eddie Edwards saves Sammy. And they kind of hold the ring, stand tall at the end, and they're doing the "Don't you help me, don't you help me, I don't need you, I don't need you." Well, you helped me last week, I helped you this week. Now we're even. Leave me alone. Sammy flips him off and then hops out of the ring. So they're going to end up a tag team. They're going to end up. This is the little salt sprinkle of what's about to happen here.
I
Salt
thought
Bay Free Boys.
I thought you were going to say in a turn of events, the pipe turned into a chair.
Right.
But then the chair turned into a snake.
Next out was Mickey James to talk about NWA Empower, which was the following weekend, as they are still doing their collaboration with NWA, TNA, New Japan, AEW, all that together. So she comes out, she gets the hardcore country song. back.
Hardcore country.
Yep, and so she comes out, does her little gimmick, and says she's happy to be back. Deanna Perrazzo comes out with Matt Rewalt. They,
Drama
spoil
king.
the party and Rusev Day.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, that was, we could be a
then,
barbershop quartet with 3 of us.
So then they all talk. We own this is how this is going to end. Deanna attacks Mickey. Melina and Trey Miguel come out, clear the ring. They stand tall. So I'm like, oh, nice. So you're going to lose at the pay-per-view.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Next
I don't
up,
like Melina anyways.
next match, one half of Finn Juice, David Finley versus Chris Bay. Now, quick little note here, guys. Chris Bay just joined the Bullet Club. What 2 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah, it was recently.
Okay, so his thing is he is Mr. Finesse. So they're selling these Finesse Club shirts like the Bullet Club, but Finesse Club, different colors. Anyway, for 2 straight weeks since joining Bullet Club, he is the #1 selling T-shirt in Impact Wrestling.
That does not surprise me, actually. I kind of want a T-shirt.
So like 5 T-shirts sold or something like that.
So he wins.
Hi-yo.
He ends up winning the match. He joins the Bullet Club, so he's a heel now. So he's winning by cheating tactics. Put him up too sweet. So he puts his feet up on the ring ropes and pins David Finley for the win. Next up, Josh Alexander comes out and he says that he's going to make an open challenge to any former X Division champion. Any former X Division champion ever next week. So that's going to be like his like kind of open challenge. He wants former X Division champions only. So
I like that. I thought that was cool.
I did too. Nice little spin there. Jay Lethal would pop me out of my screen. I might lick my screen, but not
Like just walk up to me and be like,
no. Because I love Jay Lethal. I love the lethal injection. It's like one of my favorite finishers ever. So
I do love Jay Lethal.
Yeah, like I'm.
That's my line.
Why do you not like Machismo, man?
That's my
Machismo.
line.
Love him. Yeah, that's my line. That's my line. Woo! Woo!
I love that. That was awesome. And then he starts elbow dropping the
up.
jacket.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Ric Flair marks out.
Google Jay Lethal, Ric Flair.
Yes, it's
It's
amazing.
great.
That's all you need to do. All right, next up, finish up the show. Next to last, Christian Cage comes out to talk to the Impact Zone. Says he's happy to be back. Blah blah blah. Dreamer comes out to praise Cage, and then he comes 51 minutes and 15 seconds. Christian Cage comes out to talk to. From when I started Primo to when I'm about to start here.
Okay.
Just cut it all out.
Don't you dare.
You got 51 minutes.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, here we go. All right, we'll start this over. All right, so Christian Cage comes out to talk to the Impact Zone. Tommy Dreamer comes out to praise Christian Cage and all he's doing for Impact Wrestling. And then Ace Austin comes out, and he is the number one contender. He attacks Christian. And so next week it's going to be Ace Austin versus Tommy Dreamer. Now, Dreamer had alluded to he wanted a shot at the Impact title somewhere along the lines down the road. So here we go. If Dreamer can be Ace Austin, he is put into the three-way match at Victory Road against Christian Cage. But because Ace said he wanted Dreamer in a match, so it said it had to come with a stipulation. So that ends up being the stipulation. So if Dreamer wins, he's added to the three-way match at Victory Road. So
What T-shirt is old Beluga Whale Dreamer wearing these days? Because it's got to be some T-shirt.
yeah, he had I think it's just the Impact Wrestling.
He sounds like a beluga whale, though.
It's the second most selling shirt in TNA.
Yeah. All right. So main event tonight in a non-title match, which they made it out non-title match. So I'm like, okay, so the challengers are winning. That's usually what happens.
Yep.
Good Brothers, the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions versus Willie Mack and Rich Swann. Rich rolls up Carl Anderson to win the match. There was post-match shenanigans, of course, outside the ring. The Good Brothers, the Elite, don't go down don't take a loss without beating everybody up on the way out. So they put Willie Mack through a table, pretty nasty table bump outside the ring, and they stand tall on the ramp to finish up Impact. So that's how it goes off. Like I said, not a lot happened, a little storyline progression, but yeah. So that is Impact Wrestling for last Thursday. All right, Primo. What?
I thought it was a pretty fun show. Impact is just fun every time.
Yeah, and another thing too, I didn't mention because we're just kind of doing headlights, highlights. What? God, geez,
Hey, remember that time?
I need to go back to Seattle
when you made fun of me because I said "loggle bloggle"?
Omega.
By the way, update: I was not able to go to any wrestling in Seattle last week.
Oh, boo!
It was cool
Boo.
because I seen some flyers around, for the Defy show, and I seen I think I might have even seen like a local commercial. So it was kind of cool just to see that stuff. They had 2 big days of cards. Saturday and Sunday night. I don't know how either one of them turned out, but I will say this: I seen Brian Cage at the Chicago airport.
Nice,
Yeah.
very nice.
Primo, a couple of celebrities. Primo, I'm pretty sure
I wasn't there.
he wasn't there. But, I think I've seen Jimmy from Challenge. I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but 100%. Do you guys watch Deadliest Catch?
I used to, yeah.
Okay.
Wait, is that the one where they're off the grid in Alaska?
No, that's
No.
that's alone, and
Mm.
he's talking.
Yeah.
It's the crab fisherman.
Yeah. So anyway, we caught the red eye back to Chicago.
Totally different.
Sunday night, we walked into this little breakfast place, and Captain Keith Colburn from the Wizard
Oh, cool.
was sitting there. Yeah. So I don't bother celebrities normally unless I
Well,
really,
especially
really
not when they're eating.
Yeah. So, but it was cool. Yeah. But really cool. I was kind of hoping to see some wrestlers going to Seattle since I was on a layover in Chicago.
Any from Aberdeen, Washington?
Yes, that would have been
None,
neat.
none from Aberdeen, but I never put together until this weekend that Kurt Cobain and Daniel Bryan are from the same town.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kurt
Yeah.
Cobain's from Aberdeen.
Yeah, he is. I did a off the grid real quick. I did a Seattle grunge tour while I was there.
That's awesome. Like
I'm
that
a
is so awesome.
kid and I love it, and so it was really cool, man. But yeah, it was cool. But check it out though. Seattle Redux is the name of the tour. The guy's actually finishing up doing the tours, and he's turning it into a podcast. Really cool dude. His name was Eric Magnuson.
Is he a
if you wanna
Viking?
Look him up. He is
That's just a
very,
good name.
It is. Yes, that's a
very
strong
cool.
name.
Yeah, very cool guy. Very knowledgeable. He lived through the whole grunge era, so I was marking out over grunge rock all weekend.
That's
over,
pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll tell you guys off about everything. But anyway, so all right, let's get to Primo's first part of his SmackDown from last Friday.
So many questions,
Smackity
Primo.
Here we
so
go.
many questions.
If you will,
If
the
you
head of the
will.
table, please.
Real quick, did you mention Trevor Murdoch?
That's going to be on my Empower. NW.
Okay, that's gonna be later.
Yep. That's
Okay.
on.
Spoilers.
Well, I didn't say what happened. All right, so then snackity down. Show opener with we have a video package of the SummerSlam recap of Becky burying Bianca. Becky Lynch arrives to the ring. She says she's as dangerous as ever. Basically saying, now that she's a mama bear, she's even more dangerous. She's got more to fight for. She says she hears that her victory at SummerSlam was controversial, and she says she's sorry. And she does the Conor McGregor. She says, "I'm sorry for absolutely nothing."
Sorry that I didn't do it earlier.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, for absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so that was a Conor McGregor thing. Out comes Bianca. She says she isn't okay
I'm on my
with
own against the wall.
she isn't okay with what happened, but she and that she accepted Becky's last minute challenge, so Becky should accept hers tonight. Out comes Zelina. She tries to tell Bianca to fall back in line. Which, don't you know you get a rematch, Zelina?
There it is.
So, I mean, I know she's been getting beat in the head here lately. She can't remember that. She tries to tell Bianca to fall back in line. Out comes the most beautiful woman on SmackDown, Carmella, making her case for the challenge. And then out comes Liv Morgan. But after all that said and done, finally Bianca says, forget about all them. How about giving the people what they want and having a match with me, being Bianca Belair? Becky looks her straight in the eyes and says, nah.
Yeah, nope.
And then leaves the ring. So that leads to a four-way elimination match between the four mentioned female superstars, which come down to the final two being Liv Morgan and Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair won and earned her number one contendership back, even though she never lost the rematch.
She gets a rematch. Why is this an open challenge? Yeah. Why are all these other people coming out? Does no one actually know how wrestling works?
Right. Have you never
What is Carmella's gimmick? What the hell is going on with this? Yeah. Why is this on my TV? Kill me.
She should get a. I guess there's no such thing as a guarantee, but being the fact that she's been the champion since WrestleMania, she should definitely just automatically get a rematch. She shouldn't have to earn it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, this is how the show opens, by the way.
Right.
Like, so you know you're in for a real tough time here.
Right. So then backstage we have Paul Heyman being interviewed. Now remember, SummerSlam we had the return of Brock Lesnar. Okay.
I just saw a ponytail. That's all I saw.
Ponytail and beard. I'm still digging it.
Couldn't focus on anything else.
This is Friendly Beard. Friendly Paul. Excuse me, Brock.
Friendly Paul.
I feel like Paul would always be friendly. Anyway, I bet he has some stories, man.
Anyway, Paul or Friendly Brock?
Paul Heyman.
Or Brock's ponytail.
Or his top knot.
I bet Dean's tank top has stories.
Dean's tank top.
Yeah.
So Paul Heyman's he's backstage being interviewed and asked where he stands. Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar. He says he stands where he always does, and that's right behind and a little to the side of his tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
Great line. Loved it.
When he tries to get into the locker room, though, the door's locked. And then so he's trying to get in. They go to commercial break, come back later on. The Usos come out like, hey, what you been doing out here? And basically, he's like, the door's locked. Then the Usos start grilling Paul about whether or not he knew Brock was going to be there. Like, you knew, didn't you? You knew. Like, quit lying, quit playing. You knew he was going to be there. And Paul Heyman denies any knowledge, but the Usos are still skeptical, and they go back in, and the door's still locked. And then eventually, Roman does finally arrive to the arena. He sees Paul outside the door, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He says,
awkward.
He says, "I gotta open my own doors now."
Right.
No, my tribal chief, no, my tribal chief. Paul opens the door for him, and then Roman looks at him. He's like, "Well, you coming in?" So basically, the bloodline is about to come out for the family celebration later on in the night. Paul offers to give Roman the belt before he goes out instead of how he usually carries it. Roman says, "What am I going to do with that?"
Yeah, that was great.
Paul says, "But it's a family celebration." Roman says, in his best Dominic Toretto, "But wise man, you are family." But he says, "You are family, wise man." And so they all go out together. The bloodline arrives to the ring for their celebration. Paul tells everyone to acknowledge Roman, and then also you get the privilege of acknowledging his cousins, the Usos.
Did you guys like the new Bloodline T-shirt?
I did, actually.
I did, yeah.
I did,
Those
and
little ones.
I also picked up that Paul Heyman is on the shirt, and they're not going to just... Why would they put him on the shirt?
Right, yeah, he's in the back, like behind Roman's
yeah.
shirt.
Back a little to the side.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. So they're out there for the celebration. Out comes the Prince, Finn Balor, to interrupt the Bloodline celebration. He challenges Roman for the championship this coming week on SmackDown. He then attacks... he does the thing that Roman did to him a few weeks ago. He throws the microphone at Roman's chest and then attacks him right afterwards before the Usos can jump him to... Private Party comes out to assist him. And later on, we another meaningless match, but we did have the return of Cesaro. They didn't really play it up that much, though.
Yeah, Cesaro. Somebody said it.
But it was Chad Gable versus Cesaro, and Alpha Academy absolutely obliterates him.
King Kong Bundy Otis.
God, I hated this. I hated this. You could have given us a Cesaro Gable match, and you had it with an Otis run-in. Screw you, WWE.
So,
dude looks like a potato.
I just recently watched, after SummerSlam, they aired parts 1 and 2 of behind the scenes for WrestleMania. Was it this year? It was this year's. And in the first episode, a big portion of it is them talking about Cesaro and him doing an interview about how this is the biggest match of his career, singles match against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, and it's all hyped up around him, and he won the match, and he had such momentum from WrestleMania, and now he's getting destroyed by the Alpha Academy.
Cesaro's one of those guys who would just kill it anywhere else. Mm-hmm. Anywhere else, he would be a top guy around the belt. In this company, he's just buried. So,
yep. So we have, if anybody paid attention to the socials before SmackDown, WWE's Twitter was following along with, as Pat McAfee would call him, bum-ass Baron Corbin while he was in Vegas.
Yeah.
And basically, he used his last little bit of money, and he struck it big in Vegas. He is now... He came in strutting, drove in his Bentley in fresh new clothes, says he's filthy rich and happy once again. Call him Happy Corbin.
I bet he was so happy to shave more than anything.
Oh my gosh!
So
Yeah,
he doesn't look like such a disheveled hobo.
right.
Right.
So
How
Corbin,
much money can one possibly win in a slot machine?
Apparently enough for a Rolls Royce and a haircut.
A haircut I could buy.
A lot of nickels.
yeah.
He's playing like the penny slots.
I hate it. It's
It's
like
like-
it's like when Diamond Dallas Page stole Kimberly's like bingo money or something like
Yeah,
that. It's supposed to be
yeah.
like $12 million. Like no one wins that much at bingo.
what bingo hall are you going to?
Yeah, right. I want to play.
Yeah.
Also-
fucking bingo.
Did they ever like establish Happy as a gambler type character that was remotely skilled in it, or
No, he hit it big this one time, and now he's like, now he thinks he can buy everybody or play his odds. So basically, he plays the video and he says he used his last $35 to become the mayor of Jackpot City.
what jackpot? Like, what is he talking about?
Happy
His
Corbin ain't
bingo
got time
money.
for that or whatever.
So is like IRS going to come in later and be like, actually,
Right,
you
I
owe
think
us
that
a lot
will
of
happen.
money.
Oh,
That's-
that's how they bring back Bo Dallas.
Right.
He's gonna start taxing people. Here we go.
So okay, they brought back the $1 Million Man gimmick. Now they're doing the second half of Money Inc. of IRS is coming
Right,
back.
Right. Yep.
Ah,
He says there's one more
Bray
thing that'll
Wyatt's
make
going to come back as the vaccinator.
no one will believe he's there. Don't worry.
He says there's one more thing that'll make him just a little bit happier, and he calls Big E out because if you remember previously, he stole Big E's money in the briefcase whenever he was
Money in the briefcase.
That's right.
In the bank case,
Whenever he was
we are all on
a
fire
bum. So he offers to buy Big E's money in the bank briefcase for $20,000. Big E says no, so he offers $50K. Big E says no. Then he offers him $100,000 for a simple briefcase. Big E says that's a lot of bread,
Deal
And
or no deal.
and the kids do need braces, but the answer is still hell no.
I like how he's acting like he's
then
not paid a
Big
lot of
E,
money.
out of nowhere, out of his singlet, starts pulling out. He offers to sell to Corbin a half-eaten sandwich, a pencil, and an Arkansas Razorback plush animal, all for Corbin to buy. And then so Corbin says, "Fine, be miserable when you fail at cashing in." Basically, that's what he's getting to. He was trying to spin it to where he knows what it's like to have the money in the big briefcase and fail at cashing in, so he wants to save Big E from that misery.
Very noble of him.
Right. So he says, when you fail at cashing in, be miserable. Big E says, hit the bricks before he slaps a smile right off his face. And that's basically how that ended right there.
I just Googled this. Largest jackpot win ever is like $32 million. So, okay. I stand corrected,
Okay.
WWE.
So they did
Bastards.
exactly what you did before they ran that.
Yes, they also.
They're like,
before
hold
it
on,
went out there, they were
fact
like,
check
oh,
it.
shit, we'll
we'll
better
go
make sure
under.
this makes sense.
Yeah, we're go under. So.
You win this round, Vince.
They could, they could have said that he had an anonymous donor to CorbinFund.com.
See, that would have
Right,
been
yeah.
funnier. How
Yeah.
come you're not booking for WWE?
And it could've
Because
been
then the product would be worth watching.
And
Um,
no
just
one's
kidding.
actually booking for
Could've
WWE
been
right
Virgil.
now.
Vince.
What?
Vince is booking.
Vince is booking in the way that, he always has, which is awful.
That's why we get so many Reginald matches, or not matches, but segments.
we have two other matches to go. Kingsuke and Boogs versus the Dirty Dogs.
Boo. Okay, can you give me a Nakamura, please? Primo,
Huh?
you.
Excuse-
Yeah,
what'd you say?
It's your gimmick, Primo.
Yeah. What's his name?
Oh, okay. So then we have Boogs and Nakamura win.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can't do it.
Next
I
week.
love
That one
that.
kinda hurt.
Rick Boogs, Eric Bugenhagen, as
They won. They
I
beat the
love
Dirty
these
Dogs. And you know what's? I actually.
Primo doesn't give a shit about what you
He
say.
doesn't. Carry on. It's your world, man. I'm just here. I'm just here
He
providing.
just kept right on
platform for you
going.
guys to talk. Yeah. I'm trying to give a prop to guys.
Eric
developmental
Bugenhagen.
forever.
Is Jody
Let's,
talking? Yeah, fuck that.
let's talk more about. All right, let's hear about Old Spice. Let's go.
Back in Dirty's day.
I just wanted to say that Eric Buchenhagen had been in NXT for a while, so I'm happy to see he's getting some TV time here. So
this
I
this
know
is
the
like
backstory too. So
this is Man Mountain Rock. They're just recycling shit gimmicks from like the 80s and 90s. This is all they're doing.
What about his singlet was a denim singlet?
It was denim, yes.
Yeah.
He
yeah,
played
It was-
Ziggler like a guitar, and I
He
about threw
did.
my controller through the
He
TV.
and like let's
Okay.
ride or
I
something.
forgot
made
about
me-
that.
That made me laugh. I'm not going to try and pretend like it didn't.
It
It
did.
did. I was
That's-
like, he's playing Ziggler like a guitar.
I feel like they are being
Nah, man.
stupid though with the Dirty Dogs because they don't have. Let's think about it. Okay, we have the Usos,
Mhm.
the Dirty Dogs. Those are two legitimate tag teams,
Yes.
and you have
Mysterios.
them, and then the Alpha Academy,
Alpha. Yeah.
and you have Shinsuke and Boogs, who aren't really a tag team.
Yeah,
They just
they're
kind of
not a
work
tag
together. He plays Shinsuke's music, so it's like, why are you burying this legit tag team
yeah.
every week instead of building your tag team division?
I think they're gonna at one point in the near future unify the tag belts.
They should. I was thinking about that
Yeah.
because then they could travel back and forth between shows,
Yeah.
and then there's multiple tag teams.
The tag roster is just too thin to have two.
yeah.
I mean, otherwise it's just going to be the Usos and stupid Mysterios back and forth, back and forth, back and forth the entire time.
Well, on to my final point of SmackDown. Before I do that, Naomi is now a member of SmackDown,
sure.
so she can join. She can join the Bloodline now.
Yes.
The
I
Mysterios.
think that's cool.
The Mysterios decide to go into singles competition. So Ray basically tells his son, he's like, "Hey, get out there, kid. It's time for you to do your own thing. I want to see you out there in a singles match." Ray sends Dominic out for a match on his own versus Sami Zayn, which is no slouch. Sami Zayn wins, and after the match, Dominic keeps brushing Ray off because he's upset.
Heel turn for
So,
Dominic.
that is how we end
I don't
SmackDown.
need you anymore, Dad.
Learned it from watching you.
Leave me alone, okay?
And that's
Look at the
SmackDown.
wrestling matches.
Okay, Primo, I got questions for you.
Okay,
Questions.
let's hear them. Let's hear them.
Dominic takes a singles match against Zayn, right?
Correct.
Who the hell thought that was going to be competitive?
Dominic.
Not anybody except for maybe Dominic.
No.
Because I saw it and I'm like, do you know who Sami Zayn is?
Yeah.
Let's go. Okay, if you're watching now, you just see the conspiracy thing, which, by the way, he won, so that kind of negates that. But also, you go back and watch any of Sami Zayn's matches or any of his El Generico matches, and you're like, why would you even put Dominic against him in his first singles match?
Yeah, like, I was wondering, why wouldn't he work like a jobber? Like some developmental talent. You're going to put him against Sami Zayn?
Right. From wherever we are in this town right now, Mr. Jimmy John.
Makes great
Okay,
sandwiches.
so there's my first question. Second question. Okay, the Usos are the tag champs. Who challenges them?
I think that their challengers, I think they could have a good, solid feud with the Dirty Dogs, which is what I was getting at, but Dirty Dogs are a heel tag team. So, and it's not going to be the Mysterios.
Mm-mm.
It's
got to be Shinsuke.
It's
and
got to be
Boogs,
them.
right?
Yeah, it's got to be them. Right
But
now,
Shinsuke already has two gimmicks going. He's the IC champ and he's King Nakamura.
Unless Alpha Academy decides to stop crushing single people and going after tag teams.
Oh my god! Like, so yeah, exactly like you were talking about, man. Like, you know, you've got 3 tag teams, but they're all heel.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So-
yeah,
What the hell are they doing?
right. Because the one babyface tag team just went singles, which is the
Right.
Mysterios.
Yeah.
Besides that, you got no one else really. Yeah,
Well, even like if they did a cross promotion, who do they go with?
The only ones they have to they can face off against right now is Arcade Bro.
Right.
New Day.
And they're already tag champs.
Yeah, that's it. They have to unify.
New Day.
New Day, that'd be good. Well,
But
you know how many
Xavier's
times
on singles with.
Wait, I got it. The Viking Experience.
Oh dear God.
Viking Raiders,
Crowbar and Bing Bong.
T-Bar and Mace.
Yeah, T-Bar and Mace.
Natty and Tamina. Why not? Sure.
They're still the women's champs.
Oh, you're right.
I want to know what.
I don't know, but Shotzi and Tegan Knott seem to be on a roll, so they can take them on.
Wait, did you say Shotzi and Tegan Nazi?
I want to know.
I did not say that.
I want to know what Bing Bong's finisher is.
It's the old Bing Bonginator.
Slapjack.
The Bing Bong Bomb, obviously.
The Bing Bong Experience.
All right. Any more SmackDown questions?
What is Carmella's gimmick?
She is the most beautiful woman in SmackDown. That's basically it. She's just
That
super
is demonstrably
conceited.
false.
Yeah.
I love how she says,
just
"Be
super
quiet,"
conceited.
and 10 is talking.
Yeah.
That is funny.
Yeah.
I
That
don't
is
care who
funny.
you are. That's funny. Be quiet at 10 is talking.
I mean,
She's crushing on Liv. That's hilarious. You're like
Uh.
a wife.
When Liv is way more attractive than she is.
so she's got a new gimmick, and she dropped that god awful, fabulous garbage entrance music,
Fabulous.
but she kept the leopard print, so she just
from-
That's for Enzo.
But she
she
has
looks
a
like a
moonwalk.
hooker. There, I said it.
I can't
Is
remember
her
last time I
gimmick she's
saw
a
her moonwalk.
hooker?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Crazy.
She's,
I mean,
God, she's terrible.
I still think she's pretty.
I'm okay
Well,
with Carmella for the most.
I mean, you're a 50-year-old man that tells people to suck it still, though, Primo. So
It's true. It's true.
we have to question
Alright.
your judgment in these things.
It's true. It's very true.
All right, AJ, what you got for
Rampage.
What you got for AEW Rampage last Friday? This was episode number 3.
Number 3, the 27th of August, 2021. It was short, sweet, amazing.
Yep.
Starts off with Lucha Brothers versus Jurassic Express, and I'm just gonna say, go watch this match. They're amazing, all 4 of them, unbelievable. It's just
Yeah.
so I was trying to when I was trying to take notes, I was like, okay, this happened, and I lost it. They were going so fast with so many spots. There was zero story, zero psychology, and they were doing all the things all at once, and it was fantastic. And I again note that Rey Fenix is probably my favorite in-ring performer in AEW.
Mhm.
For the second time in my notes, I have said that.
Argue that.
Some spots that stood out because it all stood out. So, what do you pick to stand out? The one that I found was the Canadian Destroyer on the apron, which, as you know, is the hardest part of the ring.
He should be dead. Yes.
Yeah, but it was amazing. But the whole match was just superb. Especially if you're into this kind of matches, which every now and then they're great. They absolutely on this one knocked it out of the park. 4 guys super over. Michael, I know you're not the biggest fan of. I'm going to get distracted by a flare on the side of the ring.
I cannot watch any more of their matches without thinking of that, and it just ruins it for me. If he's kayfabe a dinosaur, why wouldn't you just here's a steak and throw it in the corner?
Or why would you just come up and immediately be like, "Arr," and
Or rub his belly, or is that an alligator?
alligator.
Put him to sleep. I'm
not
sure
going to
it'll
rub the
work.
belly of an alligator or a dinosaur.
I know,
I'm sure it'll work. They're
think
from the
that's a
same rough
puppy. You
time
rub a
period.
puppy's belly and it goes to sleep.
Halloween is coming. That Tyrannosaurus Rex costume is going to pop up on AEW, and I think we're going
Sammy
to have a
Guevara's
battle
gonna wear it.
between him and Luchasaurus.
What do you mean it's going to pop up on AEW? It's going to pop up on this podcast.
I was going to say,
I'm just warning you
you're
right
having me
now.
on for one of the Halloween Havocs, right? I'm going to do it as Douchasaurus.
I'm going to dress up every week of October.
I'm going to get a different wrestling
I will
costume.
say about this match, I was surprised at the outcome.
Yeah, for sure. Jurassic Express is going to take it, but Lucha Brothers, they got the pin, and I was okay with it because I want to see Young Bucks and Lucha Brothers. I want to see them.
We have seen that before, haven't we?
Back when Young Bucks were face and Lucha
And
Brothers
it was
were
the opposite.
heel.
They were
Yeah,
still
so now
champs, though, weren't they? The Young Bucks.
the Young Bucks were still champs.
So
yeah.
this time, you think they take it off them?
Yes, I
Yeah.
do. I think they do.
I'm gonna say no. I'm saying they're probably gonna heel out, and then they're going. I think a hardcore baby faces like Luchasaurus and Jungle are going to take them off. That's just my guess. I think we need a big baby face to take them off the big heels of Young Bucks.
As opposed to the kind of anti-hero-y Ray
Yeah.
Phoenix and Penta.
Yeah, and we don't really know what they are. It's like they do heel tactics, especially Pentagon.
Yeah.
But but it's
They're Grey
like,
Jedi.
yeah, they're just, like, so. I mean, they're kind of on the fence for me, but I would not be mad about it because
I wouldn't either.
that's going to be a fantastic match. So
Oh, I can't wait.
yeah,
It's going to be great. Again, Ray Phoenix is amazing. If not, just go watch all of his matches. Every single one, go watch them.
It's crazy to talk about how good an opening tag match was on Rampage when we were just talking about SmackDown and Raw have 0 tag teams. Yeah, whenever you hear the name Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus, you're not really expecting a actual wrestling match, more like a carny sideshow.
sure.
But man, they're good. They're talented.
Amazing.
Lucha Brothers are great. That was a great match. I really enjoyed it. You want to see a dinosaur do a standing moonsault? Have fun. Go for it.
He's a big
He's
dude,
a
too.
big dude. Yeah, he's
Right.
a dinosaur, and he's doing a moonsault.
Bet you didn't know dinosaurs could do moonsaults.
I mean, a Saltosaurus, a Flipodon.
This is why we bring you on the show.
Yeah,
I
For
appreciate
that
dad jokes. Dad jokes.
For
Hardcore
wrestling
tops.
puns. It was a great match. I highly recommended.
Yeah, it was great.
So up next we have more Miro. He murders Fuego del Sol,
Miro.
Yes, he does.
and then he rips his mask off. Which I know it's planned backstage, but still, that is good heel heat right there.
Yeah.
And then Kingston comes out and acts like he's going to talk, and then doesn't. Sets up it's another great little setup for All Out coming up. So that happened, and then the most meh spot of the night is Tay Conti versus the Bunny, which was still a good match, but it was quick. They were moving, but it was entertaining.
How'd you like that selling on the choke spot?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm not the biggest fan of the Bunny. I like Tay Conti though. But yeah, it was what it was. But honestly, the best part of this match was Jericho on commentary making Adam Cole references.
Yes.
Very slick.
Yep. We see what you're putting down here, Chris.
Oh, also there was. So Primo and I were the ones who did not like Mark Henry on commentary. Dirty, you were on board. So
It was opposite. It was.
I was gonna say,
I was coming to bat for Mark.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
okay,
Primo and I were
You and
going all in on Mark Henry.
Right.
That's right.
My stance has not changed. It's
mine
probably gone even more so.
So I forgot that it was you and I, Dirty. You hated Mark Henry and Primo. Though. Okay, so yeah, mine with this line, I'm gonna read it word for word, verbatim.
Thank you.
It doesn't matter if you know karate, if the other person knows crazy. Shut up, Mark Henry.
So
Go
okay,
do backstage then, Mike.
I got questions for you now, there, buddy boy.
Yes.
You just saw a dinosaur wrestle,
Yes.
and this is giving you pause. This
Yes.
is too far gone down the silly hole.
I think
During a match with someone called the Bunny,
You
The
can't-
silly
this is the line you're drawing.
yes, because it's not original. It was in God, what movie was it in? I don't know karate, but I know crazy.
It sounds like it should be like Master of Disguise.
It
Or
is
Encino
something
Man.
like that.
I've never. I mean, as we spoke about, I've never been a.
No,
Mark
it's.
fan.
I know exactly what you're talking about. I can't think
Right?
of the title.
Audio.
It's blah, blah, blah.
I know what you're talking. Yeah.
Say anything. Singles.
No, it was a worse movie than that.
Oh.
I don't know, but
Talladega
it was in some. I feel like David Arquette said it in something. I don't know.
Maybe Ready to Rumble.
Yeah.
God, I hope so. We need to watch that and review it.
I've seen it so many times.
I have to, like at least 10 times.
There you go.
Yes, Adam Cole expected to field offers.
Let me get that back for you, Dirty.
So,
Derek.
So
Yeah.
don't get me wrong either. There, it was a terrible line. It absolutely was a terrible line.
It was. I'm like Mark Henry backstage, awesome. Mark Henry on commentary, especially when he's next to Jericho and Taz, who I actually like now. Like, actually, I've always liked Taz. His nonsense is the good nonsense. Mark Henry's nonsense is his.
Let's go back to episode 11.
Yes, that's.
Just kidding. I don't know which episode it was that you called him a potato.
That was it was it was like 3 episodes in a row.
Oh, we'll get to potatoes later.
Rob
You know,
became a
don't
thumb.
worry.
Rob became a thumb.
Okay, so moving on. Bunny wins with brass knuckles. Whatever. It's fine. The butcher also stupid. He wears his butcher outfit. He just came from the butcher shop. Sure. Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian versus Brandon Cutler and Kenny Omega for the main event. By the way, this is it. Like this is all they had. So fast. So
Yeah.
there's no filler.
I like it. It's like a taste, you know?
I know.
me too.
Love the format.
Yeah,
1
me too.
hour, perfect.
Like you don't get bored because then it's over. But Christian Cage and Frankie Kazarian versus Brandon Cutler and Kenny Omega. I love Brandon Cutler and everything he does. Christian Cage is still calling Don Callis a carny, which I also really like.
Carny piece of crap.
Yep, carny piece of crap. So the match is fine. Bunch of heel stuff, bunch of face stuff. Cage wins with the kill switch on Brandon Cutler because of course. But yeah, the episode short, sweet, awesome. Loved it. I'm a fan of this format. I'm a fan of Rampage.
Yep. Definitely. Me too. And then Punk still hyping up the Derby match.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be awesome. All right, let's get to NWA Empower and NWA 73. Just going to read over the results here quickly for you. NWA Empower, which was last Saturday night in St. Louis. This was a all-women's card here. Diamante defeated Kylie Ray and Cheek Tormenta. Red Velvet and Kylie King defeated Miranda Gordy and Jazzy Yang. Get to more of the meat of the card. Deonna Purrazzo defeated Melina and retained her championship. Allison Kay and Marty Bell defeated Kylie King and Red Velvet to become the new and initial NWA Women's Tag Team Champions. And then the NWA Women's Champion, Camille, defeated Layla Hirsch. And then the highlight of the night was they had an NWA Women's Invitational Cup gauntlet match with about 15 or 20 girls. Chelsea Green ended up winning the tournament to take the inaugural cup win. So she gets a shot at Camille on Sunday night at NWA 73 for the NWA women's title. So that finishes up that. NWA 73 was the following Sunday night, same arena in St. Louis. Running down how all this one came down. PJ Hawks defeated Colby Carino. Tom Latimer, as some people know as Braum, versus Crimson and Tim Storm. Tim Storm ended up winning that match. Mickey James versus Kylie Ray was next up. Mickey wins by DDT, and then a masked woman enters the ring. Turns out to be Deonna Purrazzo, so she power drives Mickey and leaves, which was kind of cool. And then next up, a guy you might have recognized named Tyrus. Also,
The TV champ?
Yep. With the Masked Man and Jordan Clearwater, they defeated Pero, Odinson, and the Pope.
Pope!
Next up was the NWA National title. Chris Adonis retained the championship against my boy Cowboy James Storm.
Sorry
Can't
about
believe he's
your
still
damn luck.
Love it. Next up, we got Ric Flair out for
Woo!
an emotional promo here.
Awesome.
Billy Corgan come out and said Ric Flair is welcome in my promotion anytime, anywhere, and he can say whatever the hell he wants.
Awesome.
So yeah, so because reason why I'm saying it is because people come out to Billy about in Rick's speech he mentioned Vince, he mentioned Stephanie, Triple H,
Mhm.
all kind of people like that, just to go along with his whole wrestling history, and people asked Billy about that, about if he was pissed that he mentioned them, and he's like, he's the damn nature boy.
Yeah.
There's no NWA without him holding that belt a long time ago. He's like he's welcome
True.
here anytime he wants. He can say anything anytime he wants. So anyway, the funniest line of the night was Ric Flair. He said, "When I seen Billy Corgan calling me, he goes, I thought he was calling me to come face Nick for the title." But turns out he wanted to just him to come down and talk since he is a free agent now. He can show up on NWA, so he did. It ends up coming out later in the show too. We'll get to that shortly. So next up, they had a battle royal. Winner gets a shot at the NWA national title. Judas throws out JTG, former member of Crime Time.
Jay the God.
Mhm.
Yeah, to win the battle royal. And then next up was
Isn't he
Camille.
shredded these days?
Oh man,
Yeah, he
is
looks different.
jacked, man. Yeah. Camille ended up defeating Chelsea Green, and then let's see, Mecha Wolf and Bestia 66 ended up winning the tag team titles from Aaron Stevens and JR Kratos after there was a distraction from none other than Conan.
I love Conan.
Rowdy.
Not that Conan, but after that Conan.
All right, so main event time.
Max Moon Conan.
Main event time. Me and Primo just talked about this not long ago about how long Nick Aldis has been champion.
October would have been 3 years.
Wow.
October.
Yeah.
There you go. So the bearer of bad news. Aldis came out as the champion. He was wrestling number one contender Trevor Murdoch, who is the son of Captain Redneck Dick Murdoch, if you know him. Most of you don't.
Dirty Dick
So-
Murdoch.
I mean, you remember Garrison
Dirty-
Cade and Murdoch back
Dirty
in the day?
Dick Slater.
Oh,
Dirty
Dirty
Dick Slater.
Dick Slater.
Dirty Dick Slater. The same era, though. I think they tag team together. So
Nice.
anyway, the finish was Aldis worked the match as the heel. He jumped on Murdoch right off the bat. It was a really hard hitting match. Aldis really put over Murdoch in this match. I was so excited to see this. Aldis is a champion's champion. I want to say he's a perfect representation of what a wrestler should be. He really put over Trevor. So Trevor ends up the new NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. He wins by a pile driver and then a running bulldog. Ric Flair comes out, gives him the rub, tells him he is a champion. And a formidable champion. I was happy because Trevor's one of those guys. He looks like me. My belly's a little bit big.
Yeah.
My butt's a little bit big.
He's an everyday man.
But he's an everyday man. He is one for the out of shape guys. So I'm super pumped to see him win. And he told Ric Flair at the end that he will do his best to represent the title to its fullest. So congratulations to Trevor Murdoch, new NWA World's Champion, and that was NWA 73. Last note, I'm glad to see NWA back up and running. I was really into watching Power, when it took off. It was really sweet. So, all right, let's get into the last two WWE shows here before we get to the Dropkick discussion. Primo's going to bring us Raw and NXT. Let's talk about Raw real quick, Primo.
Yes, Primo. Let's talk about Raw real quick.
Yeah. Show opener. We have Damian Priest opens the show saying he's proud to be the new U.S. champion and he wants to carry it with integrity and pride like those before him. He says that's somebody that we could have, by the way. We could reform the bar. That'd be sweet. I was a fan of the bar. Anyway, because they don't just make the bar, set the bar. They are the bar. He says the open challenge is now open. So who's it going to be? Out comes Sheamus out doing some gum flapping. looking like he's going to accept the challenge. But then out comes out Drew McIntyre to interrupt. Drew McIntyre comes out and he says, he's talking about the one title that's eluded him, the U.S. Championship. But he said, let's do something a little different, as if he's not constantly in a title picture. So, right after that, the almighty WWE Champion Bobby Lashley with MVP arrives. MVP says he's beat everybody already, and that's why it doesn't make sense for him to have an open challenge. However, it is good business for Lashley to face Priest to become a double champ. Then out comes the tag champs, RK Bro. Randy says that the words coming out of MVP's mouth sucks. And Riddle says, yeah, but not like a Roomba, because that's what it's supposed to do.
That's what it's supposed to do. That was great, man. I love that line. That was so
Riddle.
I hate Riddle. There, I said it. I hate Riddle. I hate this character. I hate everything about it. I hate this character.
Oh, it's so funny.
Then Lashley flips and says he does want a second championship after all, but it doesn't have to be the U.S. title. Riddle says, how about we do an open challenge against you guys, Lashley and MVP, and they accept. Adam Pearce comes out, makes the U.S. Championship match a throuple between Damian Priest, McIntyre, and Sheamus.
Yeah.
I like the use of throuple.
Yeah,
throuple. That's what it's called. Throuple.
That's a dirty trademark.
Yep.
Yeah, that is sit down Mark's lore right there.
On days like today when I can't speak.
Right.
Throuple.
That match will be in the main event, and we'll get to that later. Moving forward, we had Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler. They go on and have their match, but towards the end, Nia destroys Nikki ASH ringside and almost causes Rhea to lose, but Rhea is able to get the victory over Shayna via roll-up, which I saw somewhere that Shayna's been beaten via roll-up like 11 times in 2021.
Yeah.
It's like absurd.
Yeah.
Oh,
here's a question for you, Primo, about that one. Shayna Baszler is being presented as this monster heel, right? Like she's got the MMA background. What is this Queen of Spades gimmick?
It was probably she had to come up with something in NXT, and she went with it.
Yeah.
But what is it?
Because it doesn't. Yeah, to me, besides the fact that she can do this cool thing that looks like a spade.
Yeah, that's it.
That's about it. Because it doesn't actually represent anything except for her ring gear.
Reminds me of the triangle from Legend of Zelda.
For those of you who for those of you who are interested in what I think of whenever I think of Queen of Spades, don't really do this, but Google what the Ace of Spades is, and that's what I think of every time I hear.
Ace of Spades.
Not the song.
It's a Motorhead.
Not
song.
the song.
Ace of Spades.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I honestly, that's a good question. I don't even think she knows, to be honest.
I was hoping someone do something about this.
Yeah. No, I just think she needed some kind of moniker when she was back in NXT, and that's it.
Like I see so much potential in Shayna Baszler as a decent heel, but they just book her like a goof who just keeps getting rolled up because of whatever reason. And then they paired her with the Potato Queen, and here we are.
She was formidable in NXT too.
Potato Queen.
So yeah, getting to Nia afterwards, she destroys Rhea
Ripley. You know what I mean.
She destroys Rhea Ripley as well, and she clocks Rhea Ripley to the side of the head and knocks her into the ropes in a very vicious shot. Next up, we had the Viking Raiders defeating Jinder and Shanky, and afterwards they declare that the raid is on.
Blobby and Stinkhead? I don't know their names.
Veer and Shanky.
No, Eric
that's Jinder and them. It's on the Viking Raiders. Eric and Ivar.
Eric and Beardy Face.
Yeah. Okay.
Hager the Horrible. Does anybody know what that is? Yes?
Of course,
okay.
Yes.
Kids wouldn't know. I mean, younger
kids these days.
People don't read the funny pages anymore.
Right.
The funny papers.
So anyway,
funny papers.
His wife's name was Helga.
It's true.
Dog's name was Snurt.
So Damian Priest ends up retaining his championship in the throuple match against Drew and Sheamus. Wasn't really nothing to it, but he ended up winning in a typical like triple threat finish where he's able to come, well,
I actually like this match.
it actually wasn't bad, Karrion Kross comes out. This is what I wrote down.
Doing?
I wrote it down. Karrion
What are we
Kross
doing?
comes out in his super cool outfit again, and defeats Humberto Carrillo by choking him out.
This is my impression of Karrion Kross.
Karrion Kross looks like the guy that would have an
nipples.
ace of spades as a foreign object. If you haven't figured out what it is yet by that context clue.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed.
Yes, you are,
What?
and it makes us laugh even more.
Awful. Like, what are we doing?
Why would you do that to Karrion Kross?
I don't know.
Sex nipples.
Like,
I don't know. And it's like,
Like,
one
just
of those-
carry a whip to the ring for God's sakes. Now,
It's the
what
worst
are we
thing
doing?
ever.
I mean, what are we doing? This is awful.
they're trying to call him like a gladiator.
Yes.
a
No,
gladiator.
that reminds me 0% of a gladiator.
Yes. It
And
reminds
my favorite
me.
part of his entrance when he beats on his chest, which I love, he's holding up the mask now. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
throwing it down for a second.
If he
They're
beats
just ruining it for Dirty.
beats his chest, he's gonna hurt his sex nipples.
Isn't that the point of sex nipples?
Not to get hurt.
He's stimulating them.
He's safe words for his
Hurt me.
sex nipples.
Like you can't hear it, but really he's like,
Stimulation.
Here's something else I don't understand. Why would you wear a mask just to the ring just to take it off?
that's a gimmick that a lot of people have done though.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it makes sense though, because
No.
masks actually mean something in professional wrestling. To just have it as like your ring gear is dumb as hell.
Not if you're Demolition, who oddly enough also looked like sex gimps.
Demolition. Wait,
Yeah. The black.
did they wear masks to the ring?
Mhm.
They definitely had the face paint.
Yeah, they were masks.
So I mean, it still doesn't make sense because Demolition did it. But
Michael, all you need to know is sex nipples.
you know
So-
what?
Nia Jax had a match with Charlotte Flair.
Oh my god!
And we'll talk more about this later on. We have actually talking segment about this later on after the dropkick discussion.
Thank God. Yes.
Okay.
But we'll just say that Nia Jax actually defeated Charlotte Flair in what was a very intriguing match, and it was intriguing because of the way it went down, what happened during the match.
Yep.
And we'll get more on that later on. But in the main event, we had RK Bro retaining their tag team titles by defeating Lashley and MVP. That
What's
was
the name?
Monday Night Raw.
Be pretty
What's
cool
the
to
name
get
of
Bobby
Riddle's
Lashley on our resume,
finisher?
bro.
What's the name of Riddle's
not,
finisher?
Not the Bro Mission, but the
Bro Derek.
Bro Derek. Yeah, Bro Derek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's not the name of the top rope maneuver. It's
Yeah.
the floating bro.
Oh, right.
Oh,
floating
Here's
bro,
why I
yeah.
hate this jackass. How many times do I have to hear the word bro in 3 hours?
At least 17.
Okay,
a lot of
so
times.
this guy's gimmick is that he's a bro.
No, it's
Right.
it said he's stupid and
I mean-
childish.
But like, this is what I don't get about this gimmick. This is why I friggin' hate this thing. The dude's clearly talented. He's clearly athletic.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Why
He's-
are you
he's
making him
better.
look like this dipshit, like stoner asshole? Like, what are they just going to the Pauly Shore crowd? Is that what's happening here?
I
Like,
think that's legitimately him.
Yeah, I think that's just
Like-
his character.
It's pretty
so. Wait,
cool.
you're
Yes.
you're telling me that thing that's on TV is a real person?
Yeah.
Dial
maybe
up,
maybe
dial-
dial
you know,
up.
they always say dial yourself up to 10, right?
Yeah.
So-
I think it's him turned up. So
Yeah.
Like, I could see him being like a really laid back guy in real life. I get that, but like to the degree that this guy is friggin' annoying as hell.
Michael, they'll tell you that I was the same way when I first started. Like,
We turned him.
yeah, I got on board pretty quick. I don't know how it happened, but he just
Yeah.
started entertaining me.
It was
and I
my my impressions of him.
that was pretty funny. Yeah.
So
But
that
I was in the same boat.
yeah,
I'm pretty sure you guys are just saying this every week just to piss me off at this point. You know I'm listening. You're like, oh, let's get that son of a bitch.
Now on, yes.
So NXT, that was Monday Night Raw. Let's get to this last recap, and then we'll move on to the rest of the show. NXT, we had the show opener of Mandy Rose
Weird.
with Gigi
Weird,
Dolan
yeah.
and JC Jane versus Saray. So Mandy Rose ends up losing via countout because she gets kicked in the face.
She does.
And ends up running out of the ring because with a towel covering her face, and she gets counted out. That's how Saray ends up winning. Moving on, we have Cool Kyle versus Duke Hudson. He beats Duke Hudson via knee bar. NXT UK champ Ilya Dragunov arrives. He says he just wanted to come out before he goes back home to tell everybody that he is still alive after that beating from Walter.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Next up, we had Johnny Gargano with Index versus LA Knight. LA Knight. Let me talk to you. Thank you.
That was
LA Knight wins because Gargano is distracted. So the whole thing is Indy's trying to get Dexter over with Johnny and Candice. But Johnny obviously is skeptical and Dexter freaks him out. So at one point, Dexter catches him ringside like he would catch Indy. And Johnny realizes, he's like, ew, let me go. So then he gets back in the ring, and Dexter does this thing where he reaches out, be my friend, touch fingers with me. Johnny starts to do that. He turns around to embrace him as a friend, and then LA Knight takes advantage and ends up winning. Next up, we had MSK, my dudes, backstage asking Regal to have, if they, go ahead and defend their tag titles against Oni and Danny Burch, since Danny Burch and Oni basically had to relinquish their titles because Danny Burch ended up getting hurt. Regal says okay and makes the announcement for next week. Raquel Gonzalez versus Jessie Kamea. Raquel wins. Afterwards, she has a stare down with Frankie Monet. So, and we have they had a
Bougie bad.
Wade Barrett had an interview with Samoa Joe in the Isle of Samoa. They just call him Joe. That's what Dirty told us. They just
call him Joe.
Yeah, they just call him Joe in Samoa.
Yeah.
So anyway, he says he needed to capture the NXT Championship to set a precedence. He's setting a standard of professionalism and says that's what it's going to take for someone to try to capture the championship from him, to basically hold that same level of professionalism and in-ring performance that he has currently. So basically, he's trying to bring kind of like an old school professionalism along with the ring back to NXT. Main event, we had Tommaso Ciampa versus Rich Holland in a slugfest. It was hard hitting for sure. Anything involving Ciampa, it's going to be. So Ciampa wins, but then he gets jumped by Pete Dunne, Oni Lorcan, and Danny Burch, but ends up getting saved by MSK. Ciampa and MSK stand tall in the ring to close out the show, and that is the weekly recap.
We're done.
Any questions?
That is
I actually really enjoyed NXT.
Yeah, NXT was nice.
Yeah,
NXT
was good. Yeah, and now I'm starting to see how this is going to look possibly post Adam Cole.
Yep.
Yeah,
Which it looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks pretty
I
good.
like it.
All right, boys, let's get to the Dropkick discussion of the week. Sponsored by Coastland Apparel. Use promo code BirdTV for 15% off your order at coastlandapparel.com. Okay, so top 5, our favorite wrestlers' entrance music. Now, this is just music, has nothing to do with the pop, has nothing to do with the wrestler. It's basically just the music that we like. Now, associated with the wrestler, obviously that's why we like the music, that makes us pop. So just our top 5 favorite entrance music here as we're about to get started here. Michael, you are the guest, man. Start us off at number 5 briefly. Just talk about who the song is for, what era, why you like it, etc.
My number 5 is a little tune by Hulk Hogan NWO theme Voodoo Child by one Jimi Hendrix.
Very good.
He came out with the spray painted belt. He was playing it like a guitar. He was strutting like he was just the
Yes.
king of the world.
Yeah.
It was perfect for NWO Hogan. Yeah, easily number 5. Every time that music hit, I just loved it. So there you go. There's my number 5.
Awesome. We'll go around the circle here. Primo.
My number 5. Before we get started, I do want to say I purposely did not put Cult of Personality on my top 5.
Yep, me too.
Same here.
Okay. It is a great song, and I've seen Living Color live before.
Sure.
But I didn't do that on purpose. My number 5 is I Walk Alone, Batista. I used to get hyped
Yes.
when that comes on. When that would come on.
He would shoot the cannon.
Yes. I mean, so hyped.
Pick, man. Nice pick. I love it. AJ, number 5.
So number 5 for me is almost brand new to me, so which surprised me. Again, like I could have done a top 20 for this, so it was a difficult list for me.
Yeah, it was.
So, as you guys know, I've been recently getting into a lot of Daniel Makabe matches. His music, it's called Providence by Godspeed You Black Emperor, and it is it is unique amongst wrestling music. It's slow, it's droning, it's kind of ethereal.
Yeah, it's eerie.
Yes, very eerie. You don't know whether he's a face or a heel.
Sure.
And also, like I was talking about this with you guys before, is I'm a more of a music snob than like I'm not a big like heavy metal hard rock guy. I'm more of an art rock like chamber pop kind of idiot. Basically, I'm like a hipster who dresses like a douchebag. Is
So a hipster.
kind of my whole thing.
I'd say that's what a hipster is.
You just said hipster twice.
But a different type of douchebag. Not like hipster douchery, like more typical douchery.
Eclectic douchery.
Yes, like my glasses look hipstery, but look, I'm wearing a backwards hat. Like this is the kind of douche I am.
A 90s douche.
Yes, thank you. So, Daniel Makabe, number 5, Providence by Godspeed You Black Emperor. It's a 26-minute or 29-minute song. His entrance is in the first 2 minutes, and it's amazing. Love it. That's my number 5.
Yeah, that interesting too, and he's one of those guys too where it fits him. You know, I hope he never changes it.
Me too. It is spot on accurate for him.
Yeah, can't wait to see it live September 24th.
Oh, I'm so psyched.
St. Louis Anarchy. All right, my number 5, boys. I'm the old head here, so we're going to go back a little bit in a lot of my top 5. So
Money.
let's start number 5 here. This one had to be on my list just because a few different people have used it. Gorgeous George first used this in the 1950s. But more recently, we all know this as the Macho Man's music. It is Pomp and Circumstance.
Pomp and Circumstance.
When that music came on, you feel like somebody important is about to enter the building, whether it be Gorgeous George, Macho Man, whatever. It's music that's been used, in tons of movies across, So it's a big one in wrestling for me, and every time I hear that, whether it be a wedding, a graduation, I'm wanting to see Macho and Elizabeth walk through that
What did you think about like when he went to WCW, the like whammy guitar remix? Like, did you like that as much as like the classical version?
No.
It was kind of
but I accepted it later on because I know it can't be, you know what I mean? And he got used to it. But to me, that is Macho's, his music. So Pop and Circumstance for me, number 5. Michael, number 4.
Number 4 from mine starts off with a nice, loud, pipe organ going in the background. Then you see some fire shoot up, and it's Kane!
God, it's Kane!
It's gotta be Kane! The original, love it. It's sinister. It starts with like the pipe organ. It just builds up. It's got like the funeral home themes, and it's amazing when you consider his backstory too. But that music, when it hits, it's like yes.
And it starts with a big bang too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Prima's got the
big
pen.
Bane.
I seriously love Kane / Glenn Jacobs so very much. He's incredible. Kane is awesome. The music is awesome. It's perfect.
So I forgot to mention before we started this that those of you listening, you're probably going to hear a lot of bad impressions of awesome songs. So I just want to apologize for all of us right now.
We do
Also-
have some inserts for you, but
I apologize for nothing when we all start singing my number
Absolutely nothing.
one.
Yeah, that's why. So we'll go ahead.
oh, you said also something, AJ.
I'll say it before we say our number ones.
Okay, Primo number
Okay.
4.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not doing impressions. That's why I have mine queued up because I'm not good at impressions.
I meant to do that, but
So my number 4 is before he was a member of the Evolution with Batista, and before he had voices, he had big fan of the song. I always have been. That's when he first started the pose and the gold sparkles coming out down behind him.
Nice.
I was a big fan of that, and it brings me back to like that time in my life. So I'm just like, I really enjoyed that specific song. I went for all songs that I just really liked,
Right.
and that's my number 4. And that's Randy Orton. For those of you that were curious, "Burn in My Light."
AJ number 4.
So my number 4 is, I've talked about this guy before, but this is actually the oldest one I have on my list, and it's Mr. Perfect. It's Perfection, of course. He used it. And then I hated it when like Sean Stasiak used it in WCW. It pissed me off so much, but it's like the dur 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 dur. Again, I wish I queued these up, but I didn't. So you're just gonna have to deal with my nonsense. But yeah, it has that kind of grandiose feeling that is befitting of Mr. Perfect. And then it got pissed all over by Sean Stasiak because he was awful. But when Perfect had it, meat.
Yeah.
But when Perfect had it, it was just, oh look, there it is.
There you go.
So yeah, that's my number 4 because of. It was also kind of atypical music at the time, especially in that era when everyone had like, I am a real American.
Hey! You calm down over there.
Don't know why I brought that up, but that's
you calm down.
All right, for me at number 4, it's one of my favorite entrances of all time. The music went right to it. It just came back here lately.
I almost went on my list. It is a banger for sure.
Yeah, this kind of song you can listen to going down the road in your truck, get you hyped up. The Brood, Gangrel and the boys, whoever the mix was, man, that's one of my favorite entrance music. It got me hyped, man, and I love the way it started with the breathing, I love being at shows and concerts, where I feel like I'm in a cult. And so when that's why I like heavy metal and that kind of stuff. So when the Brood came out, I felt like I was part of a vampire or something like that.
I popped Dave
Kind
for
of
that.
You're part
Brood.
That is my
Brood situation.
number 4. So let's get to the top 3. Michael, number 3.
All right, number 3 is the only one I actually have on the active roster right now. It is by some kind of princely fellow of a demon of some kind. It is "Catch Your Breath" by Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
You always have
You know,
to.
I love Finn's entrance. Always have, and that music is awesome. It's so good. And I just wanted to get to it before AJ could say it.
You son of a bitch.
Primo,
I had to rearrange things to make it happen.
So,
Like
my number 3 is my newest one. However, he is actually no longer on the active roster. But I will say, let me in. And that's The Fiend, in case you were curious.
Yeah, I
That was
love
the
that.
Fiend.
I mean, you're not going to have to say goodbye to Bray for long. He'll be in AEW before you know it. Probably part of the Dark
Good pick.
Order.
Good
The
pick.
unifier of the Dark
Sweet.
Order is
And
my
I just
prediction.
love that song, that version of that song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I left
Mhm.
that one and the Wyatts off.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
Mm.
they're right there for me because I love those two.
Live
All
Live
right.
in Fear is the name of the Wyatts, which didn't make my list, surprisingly enough.
Yeah, Mark Brazier, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So
All right,
number 3 for me is actually the only like pure rock song that I have on my list.
My boy.
My brother.
So I like this song. It's, by the way, it's Kevin Owens. The song is called Fight.
Yeah.
I like this song so much because it reminds me of like late '90s, early 2000s, Nine Inch Nails. Like like Trent Reznor was doing a lot of like heavy guitar stuff like that, and
Got you.
I'm a big Nine Inch Nails fan.
Feel just fine.
That was good. But again, I'm not much of a like straight rock guy, but that song, every time it's on, I get a little bit hyped. And the way I kind of went about this list to begin with is whatever's on my Spotify, whatever I've played, that means I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And when I was going through like the wrestling themes that I had on there, I noticed that Kevin Owens got played quite a bit, and I was like, you know what, I do really love that song. So number 3 is Kevin Owens.
All right, for me at number 3, one of my favorite wrestlers in the 90s and 2000s. He had probably 5 or 6 different instrument songs, but this one was my favorite. This song freaking rock, man. I used to wake my brother up.
I hate you so much right now. I thought nobody was gonna. I thought I was gonna be a sleeper with this.
No way.
That Triple H, love that tune, man. It got me hyped, man. And 1-2 is this song, and I was like, yeah, it was great, man. All right, boys, let's go. Top 2 time. Here we go, Michael. Top 2 favorite.
Don't treat me like a woman.
Music songs.
I mean, clearly it's
Man.
got to be a China, right?
Treat me like a China.
Dirty, if you could actually do me a favor before I announce mine, could you give me a little Ric Flair? Woo!
All right, I'm gonna give you a little Mean Gene version. You ready?
Yeah.
Mean. Oh! My God, Gene.
That was
Also
really good.
spoke Zarathustra for Ric Flair. Whenever that song hits, you knew you were in for a great match, promo, whatever. You were going to have some fun, whatever's coming out next.
Yep.
Yeah, Ric Flair, man. That's, easily number 2.
All right, Primo, top 2, man. Who you got second?
Second, and I believe it was your number 4, Michael, which was the Big Red Machine.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now, I don't have just any Big Red Machine. I have
Red Balbo.
That's Slow Chemical by Finger 11 and my favorite iteration of Kane's song.
Interesting. Okay.
Very good. All right, AJ, number 2, brother. As you sip your McCafe.
It's empty. Like, I don't even know. So
Cafe.
I don't even know why I'm pretending like these are going to be a surprise. All of you can guess my 2 and my 1, so obviously.
I've never heard this before. Who is this?
Boogs.
How dare you say
Who is this?
Boogs? How good is this song?
I love it.
It is cool.
The first time they played this against the match against Sami Zayn, instant classic. It was amazing.
Absolutely
It
hated
is.
the heel version, though.
Would they put the lyrics in?
Mhm.
So yeah, I did too.
And then people learned the lyrics so they could still sing along.
Yeah, so they could still go along to it.
Yeah.
I loved that part of it.
I mean, it was smart of WWE to put in lyrics so people wouldn't chant because it is so chantable.
Mhm.
All right, here we go. Top 2 for me. Number 2. I'm a North Carolina guy, so I had to have some.
They're not going to be on my list.
Here. I mean, This is one of the best entrance songs of all time. How do you not get hype listening to this? Man?
Yeah, I am.
Like,
I am.
like right here, fireworks going off.
I mean,
That make your dick hard right
they
there.
were just right outside my bubble. I felt like that would have been a predictable one for me to put on my list.
That'll
Yeah,
give you
it would
a
have.
wonky
It
win.
would have. Now, my number one, yeah, I know none of you guys have, but like for me, man, like when that music hits, no matter what, like I'll 30 years from now when I'm 100, this song will hit. It'll probably get me up out of my wheelchair. It'll get me up out of my wheelchair to grab my bottle of Viagra, and it's on, baby.
Time for Wonky Wang.
Latino.
Yes. Play more. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right. Down to the final. Our favorite entrance music of all time, or up to this point, let's say, of all time. Michael, start with number 5. Go to 1 here, real quick.
Yes, sir. Okay, number 5, I've got the NWO Hulk Hogan thing of Voodoo Child by Jimi Hendrix. Then we've got Kane's Big Red theme, the original. Number 2, we got Catch Your Breath with Finn Balor. Sorry, that was number 3. Number 2, we have also Spake Zarathustra for Ric Flair. I do have an honorable mention. Got to throw in the old school Hulk Hogan Real American because it's just, yeah, it's great. You love it. Shut up, AJ. You love it.
Yeah.
But
He's not fighting for his life. Not fighting for what's right.
Yes, he is. He's fighting for Hulk Hogan to retain the championship. That's what he's fighting for.
Yeah.
But, with all these great music, you can't have no number 1 without the Dream, baby.
The Dream.
Play it.
Nope. Yep. There it is.
Polka dots going crazy.
Just the road.
He's just a common name. My belly just a little big. My butt just a little big.
Hits him in the belly willy.
Nice job, Michael.
I make no secret of my absolute love of Dusty Rhodes and everything about him.
That's a great pick.
Yeah, Common Man Boogie. They did a remake. That's the remake I just played for you. But the original one is still great. It's just great for Dusty Rhodes. Only Dusty Rhodes can pull it off. It's a great, fun song. It's upbeat. It's everything that you want Dusty Rhodes. Plus, every time I hear it, I sing along with it. And, makes me think of the Hard Times promo and all the other greats that he did and just every other impression everyone has of Dusty. I love it.
Two bad men in the world, Daddy. John Wayne, and he's dead. You look at the other one right here.
I dine with kings and queens and eat cans of pork and beans, baby.
That's what we're going to have. It's like when you have the chicken coop and you take your girl inside, and that's what we're going to have, the good old-fashioned outside.
He's so good. He's so good. I love him.
All right, Primo, let's find out your top.
5-1. We have I Walk Alone, Batista. Burning My Light, Randy Orton's first theme song. Let Me In, which was The Fiend's version of Bray Wyatt's theme song. Slow Chemical by Finger 11 for Kane's remixed version of his song. And my number 1 is...
No, it's not.
No, it is not.
No, it's not.
So,
Dirty
He's ribbing you, AJ. He's ribbing you, man.
That's gotta be.
For real.
Nice rib, though. Oh, nice. Yep.
That's my favorite of all time. I love it so much.
Oh man, me too.
No, and you know what? The other one I was gonna put actually was this one. I was gonna play this.
Oh God.
Oh, I hate Velveeta so much.
I always remember the machinery that was spinning that goes down in the hole of the song and it comes back out and it shows it going in.
Yeah. It's like a train going into a
I'm
cave
an ass man.
Nice job. Good rib there, Primo. All right, AJ, who you got? Number 1, man.
You son of a bitch. So
good.
Number 5 is indie sensation Daniel Makabe with Providence by Godspeed You Black Emperor. Number 4 is Mr. Perfect, Perfection. Number 3 is Kevin Owens, Fight. Number 2, Rising Sun, Shinsuke Nakamura. And before I get to my number 1, I have to mention one Junkyard Dog, Grab Them Cakes.
Oh yeah,
Obviously,
it's your gimmick.
but yeah, how can we not mention that? I mean, it's a terrible 80s song, and the lyrics are all about just cakes and various iterations of cakes, and it's terrible. But love it. Grab Them Cakes.
And it has to do with a wrestler named Junkyard Dog.
Yes, Junkyard Dog. But I mean, obviously, like my number 1, clearly, like everyone knew.
Let it go, let it go. Ready? Here we go. Ready, everybody. Collectively, Finn Balor.
Yes,
Nice.
we are.
this-
Very good, boys.
That has everything. It's orchestral. It's big. It's huge. It has some really good electric guitar in it, but more importantly, it has everything. It has a full orchestra in it. It's amazing. I love everything about it, and
What
it's
was
my
amazing
favorite of all
was
time.
our synchronized Finn Balor we just did there. That was pretty slick.
Yeah, it was kind of fantastic.
If you're not
Blind,
watching,
too.
you don't know what you just missed out on. All right, let me get to my top pick here. 5-1, Pop and Circumstance, the Macho Man song. Number 4 was Blood by The Brood. Well, not by The Brood, but The Brood came out to it.
Mm.
Triple H, My Time. Number 3, Hardy Boys, Loaded at number 2. And then my number 1 song is actually a real song. This was the Road Warriors original entrance song. Yes, it's a real song. Iron Man by Black Sabbath. Everybody knows this song, but you know, when this song came on, somebody's about to get their ass kicked. Yeah. So like, and honestly too, I'm gonna be serious. Whenever I was younger and I was watching Road Warriors, that song came on. I was legit a little scared, because
is
it
kind of
was
a
kind of
horrifying song.
creepy. Yeah, it's a little devilish, and but I was a little scared too, so that made me a little more interested. And plus, too, when that song came on, Iron Man barely got out, and they were already hitting the ring, kicking ass. You know what I mean? So,
Oh, yep. Not selling anyone's offense, and so forth.
no.
I mean, when you're getting pops that big every night, like, are you going to sell someone's off?
Oh, God, no.
Right. As soon as the Road Warrior pop began with this song in the beginning, and when that first riff hit, that's when the pop started originally. So, like, to me, that's the number 1 entrance song to me, music. But good discussion, boys. Very very well done all the way across the board.
So my other nickname is Y2Shay. And my brother-in-law, when I would call him, Break the Walls would play when I would call him. So I never really had any theme songs that I can remember on my phone as ringtones. But I did have one as an alarm for the longest time, and I would torture myself. And it was Cesaro's original.
Oh, the sirens. Oh.
I hated
Yeah.
that
Oh, wow.
so much.
Yeah, my wife hated me for that.
That's one of the more grating themes. It's like that and like the right to censor.
Right.
Yeah.
Entrance music.
Oh,
Those
right
are
to censor. Good Lord.
two of the most
Wait.
grating entrance musics.
I've got the worst entrance music.
I am a
Ever.
real man.
No, it is far worse. Take a guess.
I'm gonna go with Girls in Cars again.
Worse.
Nerdy,
you got one?
Billy and Chuck.
Worse.
Simon, whatever that dude was.
Simon Dean.
Simon Dean.
Here you go. You ready? You ready?
Free mode.
All right, so that is probably the
Yeah.
worst. Yes, and the dropkick discussion of the week. All right, let's get down to the last,
Trouble.
parts of the show here. Let's start off. Primo is going to read squared circle questions today. What it is 3 different categories. wrestler, pay-per-view, and wrestling potpourri. We're all going to try to see if we can all get who can get the most questions right. Michael is going to play with us this week, so next week we'll come back with me versus AJ. So, all right, Primo, get us started, man.
Wait, who's the champ right now?
Well, it is you, but we're going to let Michael, the guest, pick the category
you can
first.
pick the category first. Michael, what will you pick? Wrestler, wrestling pay-per-view, or wrestling potpourri?
Let's go wrestler.
Wrestler, okay.
Reminder, your first answer is your answer.
Right. I have quite a few bit of information here, so feel free to be patient. I almost said the name immediately, though. I will say that. All right. He was born May 31st, 1967 in Thunder Bay, Ontario, Canada. He used to be a bodyguard for Milli Vanilli. He was trained by Abdullah the Butcher. He made his debut in 1984. He has been billed from Canada and Mexico. After breaking into the business in Montreal, his first major promotion was CMLL.
I'm going to say Jericho.
Incorrect.
Okay.
Some film credits include Mexican action film Guerrero de la Noche and a cameo appearance in Vanilla Ice's music video Bipolar. He has real-life heat with Conan over not getting picked for a Mexican soap opera.
Chavo Guerrero.
Alberto Del Rio.
Nope, I haven't gotten to matches yet. Okay, he is the current talent director for AAA and head of the Guardian Angels Mexico City chapter. His real name is Ian Hodgkinson. Would anybody have gotten that?
No.
He won the WCW Tag Team titles with the Great Muta. He defeated Sting in a Human Torch match.
Good Lord, you got 50 facts on this dude.
That would have been the giver for me. That one right there. In Lucha Underground, he was a mentor for Pentagon Jr. and Prince Puma. But he was most importantly one half of the commentating team, and that was Vampiro.
Oh.
He's Canadian.
I didn't know that.
I knew he was Canadian. I thought Jericho, because I knew Jericho. That's where the whole Lionheart gimmick started, was in Mexico and his run there.
Correct. Yeah.
Well, crap.
He's from Toronto, though, right? Not Montreal.
He's from Winnipeg, you idiot.
He's from Winnipeg, you idiot.
Oh, my God. How did I not know that? You are correct.
All right, Michael, pick pay-per-view or potpourri.
Let's go with potpourri.
Okay, we're going to do this is a number, so closest without going over.
Do we need paper?
So,
okay.
Yeah, each of you write down your number and then show me.
Okay.
The self-proclaimed wrestling god, JBL, was known as one of the longest reigning WWE championships on SmackDown. How many days was he WWE champion? I can't see that.
Good.
Okay.
564.
Okay.
276. That's a 2, by the way.
Wow, AJ. AJ gets it. It's 280.
Oh, nice. That was close.
Well done.
All right. And our last category is wrestling pay-per-views.
Lie, cheat, steal.
Lie, cheat, steal. We lie.
This event was held in October 12th, 2000 in Birmingham, Alabama at the Jefferson Civic Center. The first match was a 6-man tag with the Radicals versus Team Extreme. You also had WWF European title match, William Regal versus Hardcore Holly. A singles match, Val Venus with Ivory and Toe versus China. A last man standing match, Kane versus Chris Jericho. The WWF World Tag Team Championship 4-way dance with it's funny you mentioned them, Right to Censor. K-Quick and the Road Dogg versus Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys. Last 3 matches here. Intercontinental Championship match between Billy Gunn and Chris Benoit.
Billy Gunn.
And triple threat women's match between Ivory, Trish Stratus, and Molly Holly. And the main event is what would give this event away. It's the only time it's ever happened. Was a World Heavyweight WWE Championship match in a 6-way Hell in the Cell match.
Hell in a Cell, 2000.
With Kurt Angle, Rikishi, Triple H, Steve Austin, Undertaker, and The Rock.
It was.
Hell in a Cell.
It's one of those that.
Chamber 01.
No, it was. Shit, I can't think of the actual. I know the. I'm looking at the match in my head right now, but I can't think of the.
Last hint I'll give you. Bruce Willis once starred in this film.
Weekend at Bernie's 2.
No.
I know it's that wasn't my guess.
AJ's gonna win. It's over.
That wasn't my guess.
I already guessed, yeah.
What?
Die Hard.
Yeah, it's Die Hard 2000. No, it's Armageddon 2000.
Armageddon.
Yeah. Nice. All right, AJ will take that one. All right, let's move on, guys.
Lackluster finish.
As AJ's going to read us the all-out pay-per-view card here. We're going to just go through it real quick here. This coming Sunday night, September the 5th on pay-per-view. AJ's going to run the cards, and everybody's going to take a match here and just briefly pick a winner and move on.
This card is stacked, by the way. So we're going to start with Dirty U, Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship. What do you guess?
Yeah, Omega retains easy.
Got it, right?
Yeah,
Correct.
The real main event, no matter where it is on the card, CM Punk versus Darby Allin. Primo, what do you think?
I believe that Darby gets shined up real good, but CM Punk is not going to lose his first match. Also, speaking of, where do you think they're going to put on the card? Are they going to opener? Are they going to? I don't think it should be in the main event.
I think it'll be midway through. I think it'll
You think it'll be halfway through the card?
Co-main.
Yeah.
To wake everybody back up?
Co-main.
Co-main? But yeah, for sure CM Punk goes over. But Darby gets a great shine.
Michael, Chris Jericho versus MJF for Jericho's career.
Jericho. There's no way he's going to be done wrestling. That's
right.
Like if they made it like I will go away for a little bit, so he could like go do a tour or a cruise, whatever. That's fine, but like he's not stopping his career here. I think Jericho goes over.
I'm about 50-50 on this one. I'm not sure. All right, I'll take Dr. Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander for the AEW Women's Championship. It's going to be Dr. Britt Baker. Like she is pretty much unstoppable right now. To take the belt off of her right now would be silly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Steel cage match: Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers for the AEW Tag Championship. What do you think, Dirty?
Bucks retain. Not.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think.
Yes.
I think Lucha Bros take it off them.
I agree with Primo on this.
It'll be close. It'll be a ton of false finishes. Not yet, man. Not yet. I don't think so.
Pac versus Andrade El Idolo. Michael.
Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna say the bastard goes over. That's what I'm saying on that one.
Bastard Pac.
I don't think El Idolo's losing anytime soon.
I think Andrade has enough heel tactics in his pocket, along with Chavo and.
Yeah, not a clean win for sure.
Who was with him before Chavo came?
Vicky Guerrero.
So yeah.
It depends where's this going to be on the card? Because if they're going to follow it up with like heel finish, then I don't know. I don't know.
So up next, Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship. Primo.
Eddie Kingston versus Miro.
Mm-hmm.
Miro retains.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah,
he's God's favorite champion.
He is.
And
his wife is very flexible.
Until the best in the world takes it away from him.
His wife is very hot and also
every teamer wants to speak with you.
Yeah. Okay, so John Moxley versus Satoshi Kojima. Eric, what do you think? Satoshi Kojima, by the way, is former IWGP heavyweight champion. He's kind of a legend in Japan.
Yeah, I'm going to say John takes this just because it's under AEW moniker. If it was under New Japan, I go Kojima. I'm going to say Mox.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. I can totally see that.
And finally, the most important match on the card. I don't know how we haven't talked about this yet. And I think all of us should have a prediction. Big Show versus QT Marshall.
Oh, QT by chokeslam.
That's so stupid.
I'm going to say the bathrooms because it's going to be a piss break match.
I'm gonna say
The concession stand wins.
QT goes over via low blow.
I'm gonna say, well, it's time to take a pill.
Go get your Coke right now.
And then so also there's a pre-show Casino Battle Royale for future women's title shot. Nah.
Mhm.
So
Meh.
apart from the big show QT Marshall match, this is an amazing card. I cannot wait for this pay-per-view.
It's pretty awesome. And that's
September
this weekend.
5th. Yep.
September 5th. Yep. Sunday night. So
Um,
you got Monday off for Labor Day. So watch it, people.
Everyone
well,
go watch it.
there's one thing too you haven't mentioned about this pay per view is that the heavy rumor swirl around one Bryan Danielson returning.
Yeah, I didn't want to mention it yet because
Yep. We got that coming up here shortly. So
Yep.
let's move on right here to our promo school session of the day. Today's promo is a quick little 2-minute Jake the Snake Roberts promo. Now, this is a face promo from WrestleMania 6 where he was about to wrestle Ted DiBiase. He's fed up with DiBiase and everything that he's been doing. And so just another awesome promo. It's not like a dark one. You know, he's working face here. So, you know, it's not a dark promo, but he really is just super creative. Let's check it out.
Jake the Snake Roberts, the match is at hand. Well, the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase. Here we are at WrestleMania, and it's the biggest match of your career. Why? Because everything you stand for is on the line, namely the $1 Million Belt. Oh, yeah. It can be yours once again. You see, all you have to do to get it back is go through Damien and me. But you see, Damien and I don't forget. We remember all the times you made people grovel for your money. These were people far less fortunate than you. People who could use your money for essentials. And what did you do? You made fun of them. You humbled them, and you humiliated them.
Humble
Well,
them.
now it's my turn. I'm going to make you beg, DiBiase. You are going to get down on your hands and knees. This time, you'll be the one
Quick
that's
little
humbled.
key. Listen to
This
Mean
time,
Gene at the
you'll
end of
be the
this.
one that's humiliated. And this time, you will be the one that grovels for the money. And how appropriate that the money you grovel for is your very own. A victim of your own greed, wallowing in the muck of avarice.
love that word. I love that he says avarice.
Longfellow couldn't have said it better.
Longfellow.
Longfellow.
So normally I know we like kind of make fun of these promos as they're going on, but I just wanted to listen to it. Like I love Jake's promos so much,
Yeah.
and I just wanted to listen, so I didn't say anything.
Like, just so natural, man. It just flows out of his mouth, and just another fire promo. So we'll be promo school. Jake's going to be on there a lot in the future
Hell
because
yeah.
he is just one of the best ever. And plus, that little one-liner from Mean Gene at the end was really cool. I love that part.
Longfellow couldn't have said it better. I mean, I bet he could have, like
Right.
maybe a little bit.
All right, so let's get to the rest of the show here. Big congratulations, by the way. If you've been tuning into the show, you've heard me talk about Brian Battle from High Stand MMA. He was on the Ultimate Fighter show. He is the coach of my best friend's son out there, and we've been following him the whole way since day one. And he ended up winning the Ultimate Fighter last week, so he got that UFC contract. So congratulations to Brian.
Hell yeah,
Well done, man.
that's
Nice.
awesome.
Good job, man.
I was so excited, man. So happy to see him get that win with the rear naked choke, and excited to see him in the UFC now. And can't wait to see what happens. So congratulations to him. Nicest guy. He deserves everything that's happening to him. Great school down there as well. So just want to make sure we throw that out. All right, Michael, here we go. Tony Khan recently said he's got a few more big names coming to AEW. Daniel Bryan is the big one out there. We're starting to hear Adam Cole.
Baby.
Are those definite locks? You guys
Baby.
think those guys are definitely coming?
Definitely
Adam Cole-
Daniel Bryanson.
Definitely
Or Bryan
yeah.
Danielson.
Adam Cole, maybe not. The Fiend, or not the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, I think for sure as well.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Murphy is a free agent as of today.
Yes, he is. I'd like to see Buddy Murphy in the.
Yep. I think he would
In
be really
AEW.
good in Impact. I mean, I'll see him in AEW, but he seems like Impact would be good for him. So
Yeah.
anywhere else you guys want to see, Braun Strowman is wrestling EC3 somewhere. This is going to be his first show since I don't know where at.
Trouble.
Yeah, but he's going to be on. So anybody else y'all want to see show up here?
I want to see Braun Strowman in Japan. I do. I want him to go to Japan just because I don't want him on AEW, and I don't think he'd fit in well at Impact.
Yeah,
but I want him to succeed.
Does this are you in fantasy booking here, or someone who's like a free agent?
Yeah, just anybody free agent you want to see come over there. Anybody available? Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed. Where's Bronson Reed even going to go? Bronson Reed would be great on Impact.
I would love to see Wyndham show up. Old Wyndham Rotunda as his real name.
Yeah.
I want to see him on there because I want to know what he's going to do. Dude's super creative. He's super talented. Without being saddled with whatever garbage WWE throws at him, it'll just be interesting to see what he does with it.
Yeah. Real quick, guys, who's your favorite champion in wrestling right now? We haven't done this in a while. Primo, start us off. Who's your favorite champ?
Well, I still let him wear my shirt, and that hasn't changed. I'm still rooting for the head of the table, the tribal chief, Roman Reigns.
AJ, who you got?
Shinsuke Nakamura. I can't do it. I can't hit the.
Sounded like a pterodactyl.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Shinsuke Nakamura. Who was yours, Michael?
Oh, Charlotte Flair.
Charlotte
Flair. So best in the entire division.
Charlotte's right there with me. She's probably my top three. It's hard. It's going to take a lot, I think, for me to jump off of Omega because he's just making so many moves. You heard me say it 1,000 times across a bunch of different promotions. So to me, it's him. All right, a couple other notes, man. We talked about it just the other day. Matt Cardona, how awesome is he killing it as the GCW champion? This dude's getting heat. And
Dude is a genius.
He won't.
Yes. Unexpected genius.
Yeah, it's great, man. Like
He's
he's going to make me buy GCW cards now.
He's doing the most sports entertainment type of stuff to get super heat from the GCW fan base. He turned the GCW championship into a spinner belt.
Into a spinner?
Oh
That's brilliant.
That is
absolutely
good.
brilliant.
Did you see his new T-shirt? It says Deathmatch King, but it's him in the old Macho Man, Macho King outfit.
Oh my God, that's amazing!
So good, man.
He's gonna get murdered, legitimately beaten up. He's gonna get Rowdy Piper threatened.
Next time he wrestles, puts the title up, we got to watch it, man.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so we talked about Charlotte and Nia. This match turned into a cat fight. These girls went at each other. It got stiff there, really stiff for a while.
Real stiff.
What are you guys' reactions on that, man?
Yeah, so it could
don't happen more.
So, like we said before, Nia gave a pretty unsafe shot to Rhea earlier in the night.
Yeah.
That could have been a triggering factor. We know for sure after Nia didn't do the belly to back properly and just threw Charlotte to the ground and nearly made her land on her head and didn't take the bump with her like she's supposed to.
No.
And then, of course, we saw them come to blows right there in the ring.
Like actual blows.
But I'm thinking, so here's two things. They were just pissing each other off in the ring. Like Charlotte was getting pissed at Nia for being unsafe. There's one theory. Another one is Charlotte was pissed before the match and didn't want to put Nia over. It's her first match after winning the title.
Yeah.
Nia was the one no selling. That's
true. And then it's just.
Nia had a look on her face at the end of that, and I don't know whether she was going to blow literally out the top of her head or cry because she looked like
that. Yeah, and the other theory going around the internet is, was it a worked shoot?
No, this was not worked.
She almost murdered Charlotte. They showed replays and she dropped her on her shoulder and head.
Yeah, it's if Charlotte was any less trained, that girl's going on her dome.
Right.
But Charlotte knows how to land and how to roll so she can hit right.
I think Charlotte was already pissed, and
Yeah.
that turned it up to 10.
Why?
I was taking some notes about this and texting AJ during my match about this. Here's a couple of the things I have. Wow, Charlotte looks pissed walking out to the ring. So immediately texted AJ, how long before she walked out did they tell her Nia Jax was going over tonight?
And I wonder what her it had to have been 8 seconds before.
It had to have been.
As she's going through curtains.
As
Like,
she's-
oh, by the way.
she's in Gorilla and
Yeah, there were some awkward moments during this match too.
Second,
even if it was perfectly safe, they just do not work well together. Nia Jax doesn't work well with anyone. Why is she still a thing?
Right.
You can tell too, because you mentioned it started getting a little tense there, right? Here's another note I have: Charlotte throwing worked chops, still trying to work. Nia Jax no selling and grabbing hair and actually punching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Charlotte is the one who's rightfully pissed, and she's throwing the work chops.
Yeah, she's still trying to work the match.
Yeah.
And when Nia Jax no sells the chops, that's when you can tell she's screw this match. Screw you. You're going in a chokehold.
Yeah, some definite internal heat there. It was kind of wild to watch there for I was kind of gritting with my teeth
I was too. It was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Plus, so Wrestle Talk News did a list of all the people that Nia Jax has hurt. It's
it's long.
It's Becky, Shayna Baszler, Bailey, all
Kairi
these people.
Sane twice.
Yeah, Kairi Sane twice. All these people that she has hurt, and yet they're putting her over your women's champion right now. Why? I don't understand it.
And she broke Byron Saxton's heart one time too.
We can't forget the emotional trauma that she's put.
If you want to hear something hilarious, check out this clip of Nia Jax talking about Ronda Rousey being unsafe with the other workers, and Nia Jax is getting pissed on behalf of Alexa Bliss. And she's she's just throwing her around and she's just so unsafe. It's are you insane? Do you have brain damage? Here's a list of all the people you have messed up because you're a clod. But here you go.
Yeah. That's
So,
pretty wild there.
Do you think that Nia is protected because
yes.
because of who her cousin is?
Yes. Yeah.
No, it's not like she's his firstborn. No.
I think that Vince honestly loves her. It's
Well, I mean, he
man meat.
He clearly has a soft spot for the whole family.
Well,
they've done it. They've worked his business forever. Sure. I mean, but the day, the week after Jimmy got the DUI, he was out there still in the spotlight.
Yeah,
so
I just have a hard time thinking that if they actually thought that she was unsafe. Now she's hurt people, obviously, but if I think if they actually thought that she was unsafe and people wouldn't work with her or had a hard time working with her, she wouldn't go through that curtain. That's just what I believe at the end of the day. I just don't see them sending her out there just because they're light on the roster or need a main event
And her and Charlotte have wrestled before, and they have had matches previously with zero chemistry.
Yeah.
And it's just them two just do not mix.
Yeah.
Well, but then again, you go to the thing where she blasted Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
That when she go and watch that in slow mo. She hits her and her head ricochets backwards because Nia Jax is a train wreck. She's the potato queen.
Potato queen.
Seriously, don't you potato my queen. That's what I say.
Finish up the show here, boys. Any other notes I wanted to say? Matt Fitchett from AEW and all across the Midwest was on AEW Dark and had a hell of a match, man.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I was glad to see him on there. You guys got anything here before we finish up?
Let's see. No, I don't. I've got nothing.
All right.
I hate Billy Gunn.
I'm an ass
I want
man.
to thank Coastland Apparel for sponsoring the show. Use promo code BirdTV for 15% off
That's
your
great
order.
for the sponsorship.
Remo, tell us, where can you get Sit Down Mark's podcast?
You can get Sit Down Mark's podcast, obviously right here on Twitch, but also on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, Amazon Prime Music, Audible, and now on SportsWire Online Radio. That's sportnarium.com at 6:45 Eastern Standard Time on Friday evenings before the Thomas Bryce live show.
AJ, next Wednesday, what's going on in the pod?
Next Wednesday, we have our Bucky Collins interview. Very excited. It was super fun. Bucky Collins is awesome. We'll have AEW All Out recaps and reactions. Our Dropkick discussion is 5 most hated wrestlers of all time. Hint, Billy Gunn. We'll do squared circle questions. We'll do another promo school. We got all kinds of fun stuff planned for next week.
Also, we got 2 interviews coming up soon. AJ, tell them.
So one is one Mr. Tyler Outlaw. I'm siding with the ring announcers because they can't read his name, so I'm also going to call him Tyler. And then we have former WWE and NXT superstar that I'm not going to divulge the name of since I blew it last week.
It's out there now. Tell him.
Levi Cooper, a.k.a. Tucker.
Tucky!
Of Heavy Machinery, Big Tucky. He will be on the show in the coming weeks. It's going to be fantastic. Of course, we're professionals now, so we're going to conduct it in a professional manner and not mark out because we're nerds. So yeah, that's who we got. We have Trevor Outlaw and Bucky Collins, which we already did, and then Tucky, which very excited about.
Interview on the show next week. We got Levi Cooper, as we said, a.k.a. Big Tucky. September the 13th, we'll have an interview with him, and then we'll be have Trevor Outlaw's interview for you later on in September. So that's going to do it for the show today. We want to thank Michael for being on the show, brother. Thanks for coming back, man.
Well, thank you. My pleasure. Thanks for having me. Always a fun time talking wrestling with you gents. I have so many questions for Primo later. So
Yep.
I'm just going to start writing them all out in the Twitch chat for you. Like, Primo, answer all these right now.
Answer these, yeah.
All of them do it. He's got all night.
Jerkosaurs.
We'll see Michael back here sometime in October. We'll bring him here to talk a little Halloween Havoc with us at some point here. But want to thank you for being on the show. Thank you to my co-hosts, AJ and Primo here. So
you're welcome.
It's a great show there. Appreciate it. We'll see you guys next week for our September the 8th podcast of the top 5 most hated wrestlers and our interview with Bucky Collins. AJ, if you will, sir, indulge.
You know what you can do? You can grab them cakes. Unless you're Billy Gunn, don't grab them cakes. The rest of you, grab them cakes.